All right,
Yeah.
we're about to go live. Everyone ready?
Yep.
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 Alrighty, then off we go. Should be live about now for a very, very lazy chat because I'm a little bit lazy today. Well, lazy. I'm kind of overworked because I'm starting way too many projects. So I'm just going to animate on IMP that should have been done in 2 days, but I'm never going to make it. And meanwhile, everyone will just talk about a bunch of stuff. We have the latest Sage fan games project that's still going, so we can talk about that. We can finally talk about Sonic Prime, which we, besides the first episode, we haven't really touched yet. And there has been that new Nintendo Direct. Maybe someone has something interesting to say about it, so I guess we'll just chat a bit and see what happens. We got a special guest, Addy, today. Hi, Addy.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing tonight?
Here we go. And Elise should be joining us soon as well, but she's a bit busy now. Sala, how you're doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I got early access to Mortal Kombat 1. I finished the story mode yesterday. Greatly enjoyed it.
Who'd you
Alrighty.
main?
What story you look
Who
like?
I main Havoc.
Oh, okay.
Which is why my profile picture is still Roger's drawing of me as Havoc.
Oh, there you go. Sala, I think you sound a little bit quiet. Chats, can you hear Sala all right? Let's see.
It does sound a bit quiet.
Sounds like I'm okay on the stream.
Oh, okay, then maybe it's just me. Fair enough. I'll just keep an eye over if someone has a complaint. But yeah, and how are you doing, Luke?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I went to the zoo yesterday with your wife and had a good old time with my friends and went to a Wendy's afterwards. And yeah, it was good.
I had no idea they had Wendy's in England.
Yeah, in Camden Market in London. I had a Baconator with some curry cheesy fries.
Oh, yeah.
Alrighty. Neato. Yeah, my wife is staying in England, but I'm staying home because someone needs to take care of the kitties. And besides, I'm busy by my work, so I'm not very social at the moment. Sorry, Luke. But I'll see you in New Year's, then I'll visit England myself again.
Yep, tear up the place.
If you spend a moment and looked a bit closer, you would have seen me behind the trees in the tiger exhibit.
Rawr.
That
Right.
doesn't sound good.
Yeah, I think we almost got kicked out because we were too much for the animals.
Really?
No, it was a joke. It was a joke.
Ah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Alrighty, and you, Melting Man, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, aside from having to deal with the double shift yesterday, yeah, I'm doing fine. I've almost been keeping myself busy with projects myself, with mostly I've been having my hands tied with working on Forgotten Media's 100th episode special. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be a big one. There's gonna be a lot of lots of new topics to cover and lots of revisiting old topics. And of course, I've been having a blast with Crash Team Rumble's Season 2. Now that they finally added in some new game mode, so I've been having a blast with that. And oh yeah, just recently I decided to buy out some stuff from eBay, where I finally decided to buy out a that Tikal plush toy from Great Eastern, or whatever that company that does the new Sonic plushies, as well as an official Lego minifigure of Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, because he's one of my favorite Disney guys.
Yeah, of course. I should have known you love your obscure stuff. Sorry, did I talk through Sala there?
Yeah, I was just surprised to hear that they have an Oswald Lego minifig.
Yeah, I think that was recent to celebrate the whole Disney 100 thing. So that's it's part of that whole Lego minifigure blind bags. But for me, it's like, screw it. I'll just go on eBay and find the one I'm looking for.
You cheater. But very smart, I suppose.
It's like, hey, I already blew off like $300 on all those Lego Sonic figures. So yeah.
Oh yeah, can I have a whole room of Legos by now then?
I had them on my counter for a while. Then I took them apart. Where I had fortunately, I had some empty tubs lying around. So well, wait, I had one, but it didn't quite fit, so I had to go and buy one, a bigger one for cheap. So yeah, now they're all stacked up in a tub and hidden under my bed right now, except for the the other one with the Green Hill set. That's still in the box because it's not one of those cheaper ones. Like, oh, it's a box you can open and close, so that was more convenient.
Good, keep that Green Hills on the box. Never take it out. Set that box on fire.
Well, hey, at least it gave me an idea of making that Green Hill monstrosity thing that, I showed in the chat a while ago. I don't think I ever posted to Twitter. Maybe I should.
Indeed, you should. All right. I guess we can start talking about Sage for now. Because, there's been fan games allure this month.
And games up the wazoo.
Oh, for a second I thought you were talking about Sage the character.
No, she doesn't get to be talked about at all. Not until we finally have the DLC coming up soon.
She's got her own fan game expo.
Yeah, I was going to make a joke about that Sonic Forces of Frontiers, jeez. Parody,
Frontiers.
But, yeah.
I mean, our next stream is 2 days after the update comes out, so yeah, we'll definitely be talking about Sage next time as well.
Oh, there you go. Perfect timing. Why always so close to the stream? Well, at least this time it's 2 days. The other Sage always like exactly 1 day before the stream. Like, no! Give us some time, darn it. I picked it out very wrongly. That's for sure. But yeah, Sage, look, did you pick out a nice game you wanted to talk about?
I played a couple of games. I think one I could think of at the moment is Sonic for the 30. Well, it's like what if they made a 3D Sonic game for the Sega 32X. It looks alright. Very retro-inspired 3D graphics. It's like you're on a sky plane and you're just like jumping on platforms, and it can be quite difficult because you can fall off easily. You can just start right at the very beginning, and it's very difficult if you try to go down and jump over because it makes it very hard to see what's ahead of you. But it's not too bad on what a 3D 32X game featuring Sonic would be like.
Now I'm just kind of thinking of the Knuckles Chaotix bonus levels, because how much 3D can a 32X even do? Gee, sorry.
There is one Sage game I want to talk about. It's a very, very bizarre Sonic fan game called Cory and the Dead 3.5. I think it's like an in-joke thing between these group of people who like put their own Sonic OCs in there. I mean, you can pick like characters that look like Sonic and Tails and that. I mean, one of them is basically Knuckles with sunglasses. It's very hard to explain because it's just so bizarre. I mean, in the very first stage, you start off in Toys R Us, and the boss of said stage is Buzz Lightyear, and then it gets even more weirder when you end up in what looks like a 2D version of Crisis City from Sonic 06. And then you hear a Genesis version of Through the Fire and Flames. And then you get like weird wanted posters. And one of them happens to have Scott the Woz on there. But then it gets even more weirder when suddenly you get your character running through a screen. And in the background you get an image of Bob the Builder. Whilst a Genesis version of Neil Gaius Evangelion starts playing. And that's when I just broke down laughing because it was just so ridiculous. It also had some weird screen tearing, but it's not too bad. It has some weird Sonic references, and also it has some My Little Pony references in there, so that's something that Melting Man might like. But other than that, it's not too bad. And also it has some Mario references in there, so once you beat the demo, you can actually play as Mario and Luigi, so you can have Mario going through Green Hill Zone. So
Wow.
It's might be worth checking out.
So does it even attempt to tell an actual story, or is it just an...
I'd have no idea. Basically has all these OC characters and existing characters doing stuff, and apparently there's like this Infinite knockoff, but it's called Shadfinite or whatever his name is, and like I'm bending reality or something. It's probably a bit weird to follow, really. It's just I just play. It's just for a laugh, really.
So it's mostly just random. Alrighty, fair enough.
Yeah, it's basically a shit post fan game.
Well, at least it's better than that Sonic Dream Simulator or whatever it was called back then.
Oh God.
It was very horrifying, yes.
Yeah, but I want to quickly comment on the whole 32X one. Like, yeah, I've seen a trailer for that, and it's actually interesting how I think that one is actually more of an attempt to try and finish Sonic Mars, which was a canceled Sonic game meant for that 32X.
Okay.
But so yeah, so I saw like I think right now that's just a demo, but it's like, oh, that's interesting. Maybe next year I'll try and check it out if they like updated it or not.
It's not as interesting looking as all the other ones, but I did like the look of this Sonic Rush fan game, Sonic and Blaze. I was a big Sonic and Rush fan, so just checking out the footage for that now. Looks pretty good. And the Sonic 32X thing is nice as well, I guess. I love retro stuff.
All right, Nito. So you also played Sage games, Addy.
Checked a few things out here and there, but not as knowledgeable and sage as you guys are, but
How dare you?
I'm still well. It makes you feel better. I'm still very new to the Sage thing because last year was my first time.
what do I look like? A nerd?
Aren't we all?
Well, what is there to know? It's just a collection of fan games or indie games people want to show off. That's really it. It's not much else to
Yes,
say.
fan games. Games with actual passion.
Yeah, and don't cost money.
Yeah, that's the best part.
Ah,
I was surprised to see even a bunch of Sonic Robo Blast mods there. Maybe I can do it too. Nah.
I say go for it. You do make some pretty good mods.
Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, I'll have an update on my Sonic Robo Blast 2 stuff after the stream. I'm making a video about it right now. But then that's for later.
Soul Stantia Part 2 coming to Sage 2026.
Who knows? That'll be-
Well, hey, at least it'll come out faster than Lost Hedgehog Tales.
What is Lost Hatchet Tales? Is that something you're working
Oh, oh, it's an Archie Sonic thing where basically it's some kind of a document where Ian Flynn talks about all the plans that he was gonna do or what was gonna happen for Archie Sonic if the lawsuit never happened, and maybe some stuff for the new canon. But yeah, much like Lore Suit Chronicles, that project's been stuck in development hell for like fucking years or whatnot, and he keeps promising, oh, I'll finish it one day. But at this point, I'm kind of like, yeah, right now, project's just sharing a room with Metroid Prime 4 and Half-Life 3.
It ain't easy finishing things. I know all about that. Sala, do you play any games on Sage, or you were too busy with Mortal Kombat?
No, I made time for a couple of games. Even streamed a couple before we started our stream today. So one I checked out was it's called, oh geez, what is it? It's called XF Extreme Formula, and it is similar to F-Zero GX. It is very clearly inspired by F-Zero GX, to the point that it looks like a couple of models have just been straight ripped out of F-Zero. Like 2 machines in particular, or 3 actually, look just like recolors of F-Zero GX machines. But, so it's an F-Zero-like game made by, Lake Feppard, actually.
Yes, the Sparkster guy. He's
Yep.
constantly struggling with a car racing game. I kind of prefer his previous version, but yeah, go ahead, sorry.
But yeah, so I've definitely been wanting to play a new F-Zero game, so this definitely, fits that. There's not a ton of content to it right now. There's, like, 8 vehicles and, like, 12 tracks, and you get through all the tracks pretty quickly, but like it does have the insane speeds of F-Zero GX, and it even has like a feature that I really find interesting, in that whereas in F-Zero your boost meter is also your health bar, so the more you boost, the less health you have, and you have to heal up in order to boost again. In this, they are separate, and your boost bar is actually an oxygen meter, which is weird. But it actually comes into play in certain tracks where sometimes you go into space and you can't boost while you're in space because there's no oxygen.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah, you-
so also.
Yep.
So also, unlike F-Zero, where like the only way to regenerate your boost is to go over the pit areas to heal. In this, you get oxygen just by driving fast, and the faster you drive, the more oxygen you get back. So you can just keep boosting forever, essentially. As long as you keep up your speed, which is very hard to do, but it's very fun, very rewarding.
All right, so you like that a lot more than F-Zero 99. I understand.
Yeah.
At least it's
Ooh,
something.
here's something that's really cool coming out. Sorry to interrupt. So here's something really good. A new sort of like 3D thing happening at Stage 23 called Cosmo Vulpes or something like that. It looks like a original, almost like a Hat in Time, Sonic-ish 3D speedy platformer.
Yeah, I
That might
saw
be
that.
something
I'm
worth checking out.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead now. Sorry, did I...
Oh yeah, I finished.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, it looked very interesting too. I want to check it out too. I haven't had a chance yet. But very nice art style, yeah, it looks very intriguing. I hope my computer can handle it because the graphics look pretty fancy.
Put it on the Switch.
Yep. Luke, you also played the Beavis and Butthead game, you said to me?
Oh yeah. It was a very crappy looking Beavis and Butthead fan game that you probably find on Newgrounds called Beavis and Butthead Quest to Score.
I saw that.
Yes, it has some very cheesy looking cutscenes, bad voice acting. You start off with as Beavis just swaggering through the sewers, and you have a bowling ball that you just hit rats. The level design looks very cheap. Then you end up as Butthead, and you have to fight Todd the biker by throwing bowling balls at him. You could just easily stun him, and then he dies, and then the demo ends.
Brilliant. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad you inspired new games again. What was that, Addy?
As a Beavis and Butthead fan, I'm looking forward to that one.
Yeah, when I looked at screenshots, it kind of reminded me of the Game Boy game. But if that's voice acting... I mean, then again, all the Beavis and Butthead games already had voice acting pretty early. Even the Game Gear game had actual voice acting in it, so...
Really?
Yeah, shockingly enough. But, for some reason, it was one of the most important things for them. Then again, I guess their voices is a large part of their appeal, so kind of makes sense.
Speaking of Game Boy, I did play another game that was very Game Boy inspired called something like Luigi and the Quest for Nothing 2. You basically, it's like a co-op thing where you play as Luigi and a Toad going through this Game Boy inspired levels, and you get to collect like green stars, and each character has their own abilities. Like Luigi can wall jump, and Toad can pick up veggies to throw at enemies. It's not too bad.
Alrighty. Always nice. I have something for the Game Boy era, especially Game Boy Color. It's such an interesting era.
Especially with that one Grimace game that McDonald's decided to do.
Of course, you have some sort of crazy, wacky, obscure game nobody ever heard of, huh?
Well, it's not that obscure. Like, this weird Grimace Game Boy Color-ish styled game, that was actually part of the whole Grimace Shake thing that they did, so it's still fairly new.
Oh, it's an actual new thing, huh? I was about to ask if you actually had to drink shakes in there, so I guess you do.
No, I didn't. No, I never tried a Grimace Shake. I just heard about the game from a different video. I'm sure it's been archived.
Well, of course you haven't tried a Grimace Shake. If you tried one, you'd be dead by now.
Yeah, I heard it's cursed.
Well, that was, someone just made a joke about that, and it just spread all over, like, oh, the Grimace Shakes are evil and deadly, blah, blah, blah. But, like, in reality, I think the shakes are just blueberry flavored kind of thing.
Oh, ye of little faith.
Well,
What if it's the purple stuff in the Sunny D ads?
The what? The Sunny D ads?
Yeah, because when in the old Sunny D ads, you have a guy looking through a fridge and he sees like a bottle of purple stuff before selecting the Sunny D.
Oh yeah, like, oh, that's the boring drink. You want like Sunny D, that's where it's at, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's the essence of Grimace.
They liquefied him before they resurrected him for the Grimace shake.
It's Goyland Green. Or what was it? It's Euan's.
One of you guys listening, make a creepy pasta out of that.
Yeah, I'm sure it's already happened somewhere.
Oh boy.
Oh boy,
I'm
indeed. Oh, yeah.
I'm checking the YouTube video for Luigi and the quest for nothing that was mentioned earlier. Yeah, it actually looks pretty interesting. It's very close up, sort of like Tail Sky Patrol or that warrior game that was for the Virtual Boy. Slow paced, close up, and the Toad is following Luigi around a Super Mario World-like world, so yeah, I'd play it.
Alrighty then. That's good news. Yeah. So you see, the concept and the art is very important, just to get people to play to begin with. Unfair
These
world.
So many of these games at Sage look interesting this year. I wish I had more time to try out like so many of these, because a lot of them look really good. Like one I just found was called Croaking Around, which looks like a Bionic Commando kind of platformer where you latch onto things and swing from them with a frog's tongue. Looks kind of fun.
Bionic Commando.
Just the latest in a long line of frog games.
Yes.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I think they announced a sequel to Frogan.
A sequel for the what? The Broken?
Frogan, remember? We played
Oh,
that
right, yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Frogan.
Yeah, no, I understand, yes. The little cute little girl with a frog gun, yes. Yeah, I saw that trailer.
It's got co-op.
Nice.
Ah, nice, yeah. Yeah, I did eventually get around to playing Frogan on Steam. Like, yeah, it's a fun game. And I saw that they had Frogan Encore, so I guess that's like the upcoming DLC for it.
Oh, it's DLC. I thought it was a full sequel. Alright.
Might be. I'm not sure. Nope. Yeah, it's a standalone game.
It's a sequel, or at least a level pack, something. Alrighty, sweet. That was a fun game.
Yeah, it is a sequel. Interesting.
Sure. Now maybe we'll take a look at it and know for more next time.
So many good frog-themed games.
Now, if only someone can bring back Frogger.
Yeah, haven't they done anything with him in a while? I mean, yeah, that's the kind of problem with those classics, huh? How do you keep reimagining them? Although Pac-Man keeps coming back one way or another, and Tetris.
Yeah, well, with Pac-Man, it's mostly like they keep porting like the same old arcade games, or just do something new with it, like the Pac-Man DX thing. But at least they did the whole Pac-Man World Repack. Yeah, that was a great remaster of the old classic PS1 game.
Indeed. Well, it helps if you keep switching genres, even though it has nothing to do with the original Pac-Man anymore. But yeah, good stuff.
You know, it isn't so much related to Sage or whatever, but more so just me thinking about the old Beavis and Butthead game. You guys remember, like, in the old Super Nintendo days, they used to, like, make a video game out of any kind of product. You know, they had Casper, they had bloody X-Men, every TV show or whatever got a video game.
Yeah, especially like they had one for a Home Improvement, like a dumb sitcom.
Yeah.
Yeah, what happened to all that?
Yeah, even
They should do stuff like that again.
Yeah, like even Family Dog got a Super NES game, and that was a TV show that only lasted like 13 episodes.
Yeah, at least with Beavis and Butt, it kind of makes sense. Like, I can totally see those guys just walking around shooting things at people while everyone wants to kill them because they're so annoying. Like, it works perfectly for the TV show, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's out of date, but I'd love to see video games do stuff like that again. Just turn any licensed product into a crappy 2D platformer video game or whatever.
Yeah, I admit I also
uh,
kind of miss what was it called again? Oh yeah, licensed games.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
isn't that still kind of a thing? Just more mobile phone games, even if
Yeah,
it's all
mobile phones took it
knockoffs.
over, and they aren't fun. They're just
There
boring.
was actually a segment on Last Week Tonight where John Oliver talked about product video games and how they need to come back.
Oh, nice. So we're not the only one. Yay!
Yay.
Because I have a special place in my heart for Chex Quest, and that section of my heart is fear, because for some reason that game absolutely terrified me as a kid. So when I found out that like they were making a remake, Chex Quest HD, I tried it out. I'm still afraid of it for some reason. The trauma is still there.
Oh wow, really? I always thought it
It's
looked
so-
cute. I love it when
It is
Doom
cute.
games have
Yeah.
cartoon graphics.
Speaking of which, I'm very surprised we haven't had any decent Rick and Morty video games. I mean, we had one like virtual ones, but not like a proper like 2D side-scrolling ones.
No.
Well, with all the controversy of the creator of the show, yeah, not sure if that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not for a little while anyway.
Even though, ironically, that creator himself did create his own video game, although it had nothing to do with Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, the weird space gun thing, yeah.
There was two of them that I know of. There was High on Life, which is the space gun one, and then there was another one called like Glorbo Saves the Universe or something like that, which was also a VR game.
Oh yeah. Well,
He's
yeah,
living
with,
a dream, making his own video game, so yeah, who doesn't want that?
But yeah, with licensed video games, yeah, I have a bit of history with a few of them. Like, most memories I have a lot was the old Toy Story 2 game, the PlayStation version. That was, like, definitely one of the better ones. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun to play through. It was Buzz Lightyear and shooting things and everything. And, there was a couple others. The Haunted Mansion on PS2. That one is surprisingly kind of a hidden gem, where it's a game that was mostly done to tie into, like, the old live-action film with Eddie Murphy and whatnot. But surprisingly, the game, it's more of its own thing. It's not really like a movie adaptation. It doesn't have Eddie Murphy or anything. It's just, you play as the groundskeeper from the ride. It's like a younger version, and he goes to the mansion and has to help all the ghosts stop this evil sorcerer from trapping them. So yeah, it's kind of fun. It's like a mixture of Luigi's Mansion in a way, and a lot of creative puzzle solving. Yeah, it's actually nice.
Those tend to be the best ones, where they kind of are inspired by the license, but don't try to adhere too closely to it. I mean, I have that with Harry Potter. Like, I like their early games way more because they're much more free and just do their own thing. Like, the more they start to resemble the movies, the more boring they became. Because they can't do silly things anymore, like have Harry in the middle of classes going to a volcano while the rest of the class is just staring at a wall doing nothing. That was amusing me.
Yeah. The only Lego, the only Harry Potter games I played was it the first one on PS1, which of course people made all the memes about. PS1 had and blah blah blah. It's like, probably not one of the better ones. But aside from that, I'm kind of more just accustomed to the Lego Harry Potter games like that, and of course the little bit they had in Lego Dimensions.
I absolutely
Yeah,
love it.
I used to love the old EA Lord of the Rings games myself. I remember getting my mate round. We both played the Return of the King game, where I was Gimli and he was Legolas, and we also tried to simulate their counting game as we hacked down orcs and that.
Oh, really? You just started counting like that?
I think we did, yeah.
So you really
I can't
started
remember.
playing your elvish dwarf rivalry all the time. Oh, that's
Yes.
Yeah. 1 orc, 2 orc, 3 orc. Ah.
It only counts as one!
Should have figured you were gonna play as Ghibli damn, I can't remember his name. I'm farting.
Legolas?
No, the dwarf. That he
Ghibli.
plays as Ray
Yeah,
Davis.
Ghibli.
Oh, I did say the correct name. Hooray!
Hey.
Yeah, good times. But yeah, I'm kind of surprised it took till now before they finally make a new James Bond game. I mean, James Bond is also such an IP that makes perfect sense for a video game. So kind of shocking it took so long for them to make a new one. I guess Legends really burned them.
And nothing will beat GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah, GoldenEye, which recently got ported to the Switch. So hooray, no longer trapped on the N64.
Ported to the Switch with online features.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yay.
Good news. And now Melting Man says time for Sonic Advance to get to the Switch as well.
Yeah, and not to be like some Wii U exclusive, but only in Japan, which I'm still pissed off about that. But, oh well, I still have the physical cartridges and whatnot.
So do I.
But yeah, who knows? But yeah, who knows? Maybe it's just more of Sega's laziness. Maybe the rumors about the whole legal issues is true. But I don't know. I still think those games need like some kind of a comeback. Something more than just porting Sonic 1 Genesis onto every freaking console known to mankind.
I think Sonic Team just has absolutely. I think Sonic Team just has no love for its handheld because they had nothing to do with it. It was mostly done with other studios. I remember one day we were talking about Sonic Generations 3DS, where that game was supposed to represent all the handheld games. People kind of asked him, like, hey, why aren't the classic games not Game Gear levels? And Yuzuko was like, the Game Gear, that's old. It's like, what do you mean that's old? What do you think the original Genesis games are? They're just as old, idiot.
They have no respect for the Game Gear.
Fucking point.
Yeah, I mean, come on, there's like a shitload of Sonic Game Gear games. You have more than enough material to work off of for classic Sonic games for the 3DS version. And same with like... Yeah.
It's called Sonic Generations. You're supposed to be going back a while.
Yeah.
I guess he meant it's too obscure. That would have made more sense, but yeah, it's still kind of frustrating. Oh well.
And guess so, since they couldn't be bothered importing the Game Gear games onto newer consoles. Like, after the GameCube, it's like, nope, fuck that.
Well, to be fair, it wasn't a 3DS, so I guess the Game Gear games are not completely ignored.
well, that's no use anyway, because the eShop's dead.
Yeah. Alas. Oh well.
Yeah, I would have loved a 3DS version of the train level from Sonic Triple Trouble.
Oh yes, that would be awesome.
Oh yeah, especially that music. I love the music for Act 3.
Indeed, that's a classic. Oh well, guess we have Triple Trouble 16-bit, the fan game.
Yeah, which just recently they did an update where they added in Classic Amy.
Classic Amy gets everywhere all of a sudden. It's the year of Classic Amy.
Well, it is her 30th anniversary, so you know.
Yeah, Luigi had his year a couple years back, and now it's Amy's turn, I guess.
Amy, I'm all for it.
I'm all for it, indeed.
Poor Metal Sonic fans. Amy and Metal appeared in the same game together, although, yeah, but poor Metal Sonic gets no love. Although, if you really want to get technical, then it's like, well, there was the old Shogakukan Sonic mangas where Amy technically first appeared in that, but yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if Metal Sonic is going to show up in Superstars. I mean, it is from the same makers of Sonic CD, even though.
Or they pull on episode 4 and do an episode Metal.
Ooh, that'll be something. They probably want to stay far away from Sonic 4 references. Sorry, Melting Man, go ahead.
Stay away from Sonic 4 references, yeah. Well, and yet that doesn't explain how we got a Sonic 4 toy set now with the Death Egg thing, and they used the Egg Heart as one of the set pieces.
Oh, really? There's new Sonic 4 merchandise out?
It's sort of. Like, they did this whole, recently they released this Death Egg playset, and it's like, okay, classic Death Egg, blah, 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 and you have Sonic and Robotnik, and surprisingly, the mech that he's controlling is the Egg Heart from, which is the final boss from Sonic 4 Episode 2. So it's kind of funny, it's like, yeah, no matter how many times you try to forget about Sonic 4, I always survive.
Roger, they just released an Egg Heart place. Oh, and that's the Sonic 4 one. All right.
Yeah, that's just what we talked about, yeah.
Why Sonic 4? Why not any Game Gear play sets? Darn it.
Because Sega hates Sonic Game Gear games.
I guess so. Or there's probably also more copyright problems. They have to share money with the studios who build on them or something. Who knows? But, yeah. We still shouldn't complain. We have plenty of cool Sonic stuff going on.
Yeah. And fan games, which I figure I would try and chime in about the Sage games I played for this.
Oh, sorry, mate. Go ahead. What's your Sage game you want to talk about?
Let's see. I played a few of them. So, well, first I want to give a quick shout out to Sonic McOrigins Plus. So we talked about I talked about the previous one. So now there's a Plus version. So huzzah! All the Sonic McDonald LCD games are compatible in this fan-made compilation. So you can go ahead and check that out rather than like hunt down the handhelds and pray to God they still work. But so for the games I've actually played this year is well, there's a few. Well, first there's a Sonic Wonderland. The name kind of caught my attention. Like, oh, what's this? Like an Alice in Wonderland themed Sonic game? And I don't know. It's like right now it's still very early prototype. So the basic gist is that Robotnik's created some kind of new teleporter book device, and he's teleported Sonic and all of his friends into storybook worlds. So it's more of just a one-level prototype thing where you're playing through a fantasy section with Sonic fighting off Splats, the old Badnik. And I remember seeing the screenshot of it. I'm like, oh, hey, it's a fan-made Sonic game where you play as Sonic running around through one of the levels from the Pagemaster video game. But yeah, that's it. The demo promises that it'll have more original levels than that. This is just a prototype. But yeah, a little rough, but I'm looking forward to seeing some improvements.
Yeah, that actually sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's nice to see the old the idea of Sonic storybook games still being kept alive in the fan games.
I'd give it a play.
Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, Cosmogelica. That's like it's not what to say. It's kind of one of those shooter games, kind of like Galaga, or some ways bullet hell thing. But cover kind of caught my attention, and yeah, it's fine. Nice bang bang shoot 'em up kind of stuff, and the old space adventure. Let's see. Next, Transylmania Deluxe. Now, here's a game that suddenly reawakened this old memory that I'd forgotten about for years. So basically, Transylmania is a fan-made like Flash games from like ye olden days of Flash games, where you play as this vampire running around. And so in this deluxe edition, it's pretty much the same thing, but it's like, graphics are higher quality and the music is higher quality. And so you play as this vampire. I think his name's Vampy. And the basic gist is that, you're trying to get some sleep, but oh no, those pesky villagers are causing trouble, so you have to go around and bite them all and make it to your coffin at within the time limit. But yeah, it's a short game, but yeah, it's fun, and it definitely reawakened those like old days of finding random sites full of like Flash games and everything. So it's pretty cool to see this game get some love and an HD treatment. I know there was a sequel years back, which is has a bit more of a story where this evil scientist decides to be an asshole and steal Vamp's teddy bear, and you have to go and get it. So maybe next year or some other time they'll do the HD treatment for the sequel.
Who knows? So many possibilities now. Yeah.
Yeah. And let's see, so there's that, and oh yeah, the other game that I played is Yark, I'm trying to remember the whole name. I know it's just called Yark. So it's a fan-made game, kind of has that PS1 graphic style. So you play the character, who I think is Yark, and you're basically a member of a band of thieves that are kind of a Robin Hood-esque kind of deal, I think. But yeah, it's another one-level demo where the main goal is that this wizard's staff has been taken away, and you have to sneak into this castle to get it back and avoid the guards and collecting extra bits of treasure. Yeah, it's still in its very early days. Like there's early days. There's still models that are like missing textures, so it's just that orange box thing that you kind of see in those Half-Life games, or prototypes of the Source engine. But yeah, it's interesting. It kind of reminds me of Sly Cooper in a way, which is kind of coincidentally because I haven't properly played the Sly games yet. But still, I like the graphics, the style, the medieval theme it's going for. Yeah, it looks cool.
That's the game with the Snake Lady as main character, right?
Oh, I thought it was a dragon.
Oh, dragon. Okay, sorry, never mind. At least
I couldn't quite tell. I think it's a dragon, but gender, I couldn't quite tell if it's a guy or a girl, or maybe both.
Did you say that you haven't played any of the Sly Cooper games?
Yes, blasphemy.
Well, I played, I remember at a friend's house, I played a little bit of one of the games, but yeah, which is really sad because I actually do have all 4 Sly games that I got at used game stores, and I just haven't gotten around to playing them for some reason.
Give them a shot. I think you'll really like them.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I figured Sly needs all the love with how neglected he's been these days with the canceled movie and all that jazz.
Ooh. And ending on a cliffhanger. I mean, Sly Cooper 4 didn't have a proper ending.
Oh, I hate it when games do that. It's definitely giving me like real bad flashbacks of when EA decided to be a real asshole. It's like, oh, Alice Asylum playing second sequel to the American McGee Alice games. Yeah, well, fuck you. You're not getting it.
Yeah, they did that with Golden Sun because they released a third Golden Sun for the DS. That's like set, even though the second one wrapped everything up, and the third one ended on a cliffhanger and like set things up for a future game, and then nothing.
Oh, that's very frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Golden Sun. It's another game series I haven't played, and my only knowledge of that was from the Smash Brothers series when they had I think Isaac as an assist trophy. You know, the guy that summons those big hands that push you away.
Yeah.
Golden Sun is one of those RPGs I want to like, but then whenever I play it, the cutscenes go on for so long, and the characters keep repeating the same thing. It just drives me insane. Get on with it! Ugh.
Definitely heard the games have long cutscenes.
Well, I don't mind long cutscenes if at least a lot of stuff happens, but it feels like they're going around in circles all the time. It's like, are we still talking about this? I thought we already, and the characters don't have that much of an interesting personality. It's like, it's like they just really want to hammer every plot point home until your brain turns to mush.
To clear something up from earlier about the game, Melty just brought up Yark. She is not a snake or a dragon. She is a kobold.
Yeah, I thought so.
And this is why
What,
we're
like
not
the car?
zoologists. Yeah, you can tell that we're not zoologists. Yeah.
I mean, a kobold is a fictional animal, so.
That explains it.
Fair enough. But hey, at least I got a gender right, so there you go. Got score 1 over a Melting Man.
Oh, Roger, you dare misgender?
No, Melting Man misgendered. I got it correct.
I kid.
Like, hey, it's low poly graphics. How can you tell if like the characters aren't actually saying
I was looking at the official artwork.
Oh yeah.
The wanted poster says girl, so.
I must have missed that. Yeah. Gee, now I'm just reminded of like those Banjo-Kazooie games where for the longest time I always kind of thought that Kazooie was a guy, but it's like no, Kazooie's a girl, even though it didn't look like that. It went until like Nuts and Bolts where they gave her more eyelashes. I was bad at that.
They all need a giant Minnie Mouse bow on their heads, don't they?
Yeah.
Or
There you
big
go.
bounce. Yeah, it's either a bow or big bouncing ears.
Right.
Or an Amy Rose dress.
There you go.
Well, it's practically a Minnie Mouse thing, just on the other side, in the other direction.
How are we supposed to know Blaze the cat is a girl if she's not wearing a dress and has a ponytail?
There you go. That's a good question.
Well, isn't that weird thing on her head? Isn't that kind of a ponytail-ish?
Well, with Sonic characters, it's kind of very easy to recognize when someone is a woman. If it has any pants or any clothing on the legs, it's a girl.
Well, unless you count Sally Acorn.
Yeah, okay, but from the official Sonic games then. Because for some reason, guys always have to bare naked. And
We're
the
only
girls
talking
always
about
have to cover
real
up.
Sonic characters.
It's ha ha ha.
Oh my god.
We must know these things. Very important.
The general rule of the Sonic universe.
Yeah.
That did remind me of that one panel from, I think it was it was from one of your videos, Melty, where you were talking about Snively. There was just that one panel with all of these comic book characters and Fang. And
Oh yeah, the
Fang so much because he's a completely different art style from everyone else.
the story where Snively and the gang break out of that Devil's Goulash. Yeah, yeah, that was still back in the day when Archie Sonic was more experimental with the different art styles and everything.
Did anyone else for the longest time think that when they first saw Blaze the cat that she wasn't wearing any pants?
I thought she was. I saw that she was wearing pants.
Shocking.
Just me then.
Hey, someone in the comments asked a good question. What is Camlet even doing other than Golden Sun? Apparently, they mostly work on all the Mario sports games, so there you go. They recently made Mario Golf Super Rush 2021. So yes, Camelot is still busy. Camelot is now Mario's slave, unfortunately. No more God and Son.
Haven't heard from them in forever.
Yeah.
They're under the slave of Waluigi or Wario's Cricket Game Factory.
There you go, perfect.
Haven't heard of them since the old Power Tennis and Toadstool Tour days.
I kind of like the Game Boy games where you had like a whole RPG world to explore, but I don't think the new 3D ones had anything like that.
There's a thought. Let's get some tennis and golf games at these Sage things.
No, I hate golf.
Yeah, it's like, well, hey, let's have, Sega Tennis, Sega Superstars Tennis HD coming to Sage next year.
Tennis is kind of fun. Golf sucks.
It'd be pretty cool if, hold on, I'm gonna... There. I should be a little louder now.
Too loud.
Yes,
So-
thank you. I can finally hear you.
Sorry. I was going for quality over volume there, but
Quality in my
whatever.
videos? You silly.
That's my job.
Fair enough. So anyway, it since we're talking about sports games at Sage, someone should make a Sonic game like Mario Strikers, because that'd be really cool. I think honestly, this is kind of a hot take. I think Sonic should be considered an honorary Mario character.
That's a very
So he
hot
can
take.
appear in-
Disagree. Take
Yeah,
that back.
just so he can appear in Mario spin-offs like Mario Kart and Mario Strikers. That'd
I'm
be
really
so cool.
surprised he didn't appear in Mario Kart.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I know that, I know with Sega Superstar, no, not, Sonic, Sega and All-Stars Racing, the first one, I think they originally had in mind of having, Mario be an unlockable character for, like, the Wii version, but, that idea was rejected.
I hate the reason it was rejected, too, because the reason was they're like, oh, we should put Mario in the Wii version, but then they're like, no, that might mess with the whole Mario and Sonic at the Olympics thing, because those should be the only times they cross over. But then there's also Smash Brothers!
Yeah, it's like, oh, what about Smash Brothers? Like, that's different. Derp.
Yeah. There's no reason that these characters should not appear in each other's games more often.
Yeah. I mean, I think by now we would have had like a fan-made Sonic and Mario crossover game, or maybe I'm just not looking hard enough.
Or
I'm
like
sure
an actual
there
platform
is.
game or an action game. But no, instead the rabbits get the one.
Or a fan game based on, what was it, Mario Bros. Z?
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
that would be awesome.
Oh, I love to see the face of Nintendo when I get that proposition. Like, what now?
Well, yeah. And Nintendo's like, yeah, we may not have that, but hey, at least IDW Sonic made a reference to that in some way.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for more Rayman.
That would be nice,
yeah.
yeah, but no, only the rabbits, sadly.
Well, the
Hold on now. I love the rabbits too.
well,
feel
hey,
sorry
at least
for you.
Rayman. Well, on the plus side, aside from the rabbits, but hey, at least he did kind of, come back at that new Mario and the Rabbids crossover. So maybe there's hope that Rayman will one day get his own Spotlight games once again.
Hello, Elise.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Elise finally showed up. So we
Elise.
Surprise!
Wow,
Huggle.
surprise Elise shows up.
Hi.
Then we can
Who the hell
finally
are
move on
you?
to Sonic Prime. I see.
Actually, I was gonna join the conversation about the games if you still have more to say.
Sure, go
Sure,
ahead.
yeah.
Go right ahead.
Yeah. Sonic fan game. I was thinking would be Sonic Warriors.
Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Sonic
Oh.
Warriors.
we discussed that a few streams ago, and oh my god, it's so perfect. Why has it not been done?
Get the fans on it. Get the fans on it.
Or fan-made Archie Sonic games. Why hasn't that been a thing?
Everyone tweet out hashtag Sonic Warriors.
There is a Sonic CTM RPG, so that's close to RG for you, I guess. Kind of.
Yeah, I did see that at Sage, and well, actually, I think there actually is a fan-made Archie Sonic fan game. I think it's called like Mobius 3.5 or something. But I looked at it and didn't really give it a playthrough, mostly because it's a tabletop kind of game, and tabletop games are not really my thing.
Ah, that's a shame. But hey, a lot of Archie characters show up in my Souls Essentia level pack, so there you go. Just for you. Yeah.
Yay!
Hey.
But yeah, so Sonic Warriors, what do you had in mind, or how do you see this?
Well, pretty much what we talked about the last time we talked about the game when I was on the live stream. You know, where you just get all these characters together, you give them their skill sets, and then they just wreak havoc on hordes of robots. Or heck, maybe even hordes of shadow demons from Mephiles, or fire demons with Iblis, things like that. Like you have Soliana stages, or you have like stages
Dark Gaia
places
minions?
from Unleashed. Huh?
Dark Gaia minions?
Yes!
Yeah, the more the merrier.
They should do what they've done with Hyrule Warriors and have it explore like Sonic's history.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing like, the bad eggs and the egg pawns and the egg fighters and the everything else all mixed together.
They could even do like a DLC story that takes place entirely in Sonic and the Black Knight.
There you go. Why
Or
not?
secret rings!
Yeah, Excalibur once again reunited with the Fool.
Would fit
Yeah,
perfectly
go
with
for
the
the
Warriors.
entire Sonic the Hedgehog history.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Yeah, or like, not just the games, but like every other freaking Sonic official media. Yeah, Archie Sonic, Fleetway Sonic, all the enemies you beat the shit out of.
Well, there's gonna be one fun copyright nightmare to figure out.
Although,
destroying all of Eggman's drones, the movie version.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Although I will say, Sega is, from what I've noticed, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they seem to be kind of lenient on their copyright when it comes to fan works.
Yep.
Yeah, they've always
Compared to something like Nintendo.
They cut their shotgun out and just keep walking.
It's like, but yeah, it's like I think they've given fans a lot of power already, because they're lenient on their copyright. So for all we complain about how the games and comics and stuff turn out, where it's like, well, they're not copyright striking us when we make our fan stuff.
That is a very good point. So indeed, we should always be grateful for Sega for being so lenient. Thank you, Sega. Despite all our complaints and anger at you, we do have to pay you a lot of respect. Yeah.
I think maybe my friend Aaron and I, we discussed this, and we think maybe it might be because it's basically free advertisement.
Probably. Not to mention a lot of fan works rescued them a whole bunch, like Sonic Mania is the prime example.
Yeah.
So they know its value, and now they got people like T-Lopes working for them and such, so they're definitely tapping into that potential. And good for them, why not? They got people
Yeah, well, I mean,
working.
like, fan animations too. So, and as I said, I haven't heard of anything where Sega has, like, really copyright struck someone. Like, even with their music, I think maybe there may have been a few occasions, but that might be because they were, like, the creators were profiting off of what they were making instead of it being basically a passion project.
Well, there was one weird situation with a game from the Saturn, Shining Soul 3, I think, where a lot of weird copyright stuff happened. But it's only that game, and it's a very obscure one, so people expect it's just a singular employee at Sega rather than them in general. Also a very weird chapter.
Yeah, then again, it could just be someone else like posing as Sega, because I think that's happened before with some YouTube creators.
That's
Wasn't there an issue with Sonic Omens?
No, people were scared of that, but I don't think Sonic officially ever said anything, or Sega did.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because that was like a particular game that was being made by people trying to make a profit off of it with Patreon, like, oh, go to our Patreon and get the game made, blah blah blah.
A lot of fans were angry at them, yes, but as far as I know, Sega never made an official statement about it. So it's just that people were scared that they were gonna break the dam or break the ice and cause everything to fall.
Yeah, caused Sega to bring out the banhammer.
Yeah.
I'm banishing you to the Shadow Realm.
In the end, it never happened. Kind of reminds me, maybe we should take a look at Sonic Omens, because didn't it kind of act like an extra finale to Sonic X? Because Chris and the
Oh my gosh.
I know Chris isn't. I don't know. I feel Well, I haven't played it myself, but yeah, like Chris is in there, like an older version, I guess.
He's
But
dead.
he died. So hey, there's a game for Euan.
I'll mean spirit of us.
I love that.
But yeah, I haven't really played the game, but I feel like it's kind of one of those games, at least from what I've seen, like where they tried to cram in like every kind of random Sonic media into this one timeline. Of course, that is never gonna work because there's too many contradicting things.
I'm guilty of that myself, so how dare you say that, sir? Yeah, I played a couple of Omens, the early version. That game is really hard, so I'm not super looking forward to it. That game is really challenging. Whew.
Oh yeah, I think that was another complaint people had, that it was too hard and other things. And then of course there was the whole Maria incident.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
Well, I love the idea of Shadow having to fight his own like worst enemy or his fears. That as a concept, that's awesome. It really depends on how you play it off, because it's not the real Maria, right? It's just more of a hallucination of Shadow's fears or something. Because in that case, it's a pretty awesome idea.
Yeah, maybe. Like a fun idea for like a dream scene or something, yeah.
Exactly, yeah. So I can't judge until I play the game. But yeah, people really attacked on it, so...
I haven't seen what you guys are talking about, but I'm just imagining the scene from Sonic 06 of Shadow kicking Silver in the back of the head, but instead it's Maria.
Maria's an actual boss in that game.
Oh, really? Jeez.
Oh my god.
But like an
Yeah.
Shadow
imaginary
beating the
version.
shit out of the little girl.
That's how she really died.
Yeah.
He really had an accident.
Shadow, stop. She's just a little girl.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Maria, I thought you died. I got better.
Not for
Just a
love.
flesh wound.
Yeah, like, you know how in the English dub they said they just took her away? Like, yeah, that was actually true.
They just put her in an orphanage, yeah.
No, an asylum.
Well, if she's supposed to be like really ill, she probably didn't last long down on Earth because it wasn't a sterile environment.
Yeah.
That's a good point, yeah.
Yeah, so basically they gave her a death sentence by sending her down there.
Yeah, then again, I don't think the English dub ever brought up Maria's illness, or what I can remember.
Well, I don't think SA2 ever brought up Maria's illness either, at least in game.
Yeah, like, I think it's mostly in the English dub. I know, like, the Japanese, like, instruction manual, and even Archie Sonic, they brought up the whole deal of how she was diagnosed with NIDS and all that.
Oh, I read in the comments that the reason people were upset about Maria is because they put naughty textures on her. So.
Oh, yeah. That's what I heard about.
Yeah.
Naughty textures?
Well,
Yeah, so, like,
Pandy says bad girl.
Let's just say she has a certain style underneath that dress, and we'll just leave it at that.
I am intrigued.
Yeah, okay, fine. I can't defend that. I was I'm purely story-wise, I can defend it, but yeah, if you start doing that sort of stuff, then whoops. Oh well. Internet people are weird.
Well, as they say, controversy creates cash.
That's true.
Yep.
Whilst this is not really a fan game, I've recently learned that probably know about Snapcube. Well, they recently used AI Dungeon to create an AI-created Sonic fan script called Sonic Destruction, and it is so bloody hilarious because it had really weird moments like Shadow and Sonic meeting in a hotel room, and Shadow making Sonic sit in the bath. Princess Elise being evil and singing about steroids. Knuckles with Sonic receiving a list of possible recruits from Knuckles, and one of them happens to be Ivor the Engine. And apparently, Shadow the Hedgehog game exists in the Sonic world, and apparently it's a failed government experiment.
I guess that would explain all of the too many what-if scenarios.
Yeah, look it up. It's called Sonic Destruction.
I don't need more.
Actually seen animatics from some of the lines for that script.
Someone animated it already?
God.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Someone did that.
First, the animated Harry Potter in the frame that looked like a pile of ashes, and now this.
Harry Potter's in it?
It's a AI-generated script called Harry Potter and the Portrait of What Looks Like a Large Pile of Ash.
I've got a reading of that.
It's freaking hilarious.
You ought to check out my reading of that. I added some sound effects in it as well.
Oh, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
you did a very good job.
I've heard the Pro ZD version.
Oh, Pro ZD!
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a.
He does Mordecai and Lackadaisy.
Oh my god.
Such wonderful nightmarish stuff you can find on the internet, huh?
And back in the day when AI was just more used for fun rather than just a target of controversy.
Yeah.
Good times. Hey,
I
you can
gotta
still have
agree
fun
with
with
people
AI.
talking about it online. This is better than any Hollywood writer can come up with.
No kidding.
Oh my god.
This is comedy gold.
I'm actually gonna look up Luke's version of that right now. Just. You got a link to that, Luke?
Just give me a second. I'll get you the.
You're alright, Elise?
I'm okay. Just.
Hang on.
Deep breaths.
I'll try.
So how about that
Calm down.
liquor?
We'll get you a glass of water.
Someone help me.
Yeah. Okay, quick, get her.
Oh, I found it.
Water.
I found it, Luke. Okay. So, anyway, back to Sage real quick. So someone mentioned, I think it was Elise, or no, Addy, sorry, mentioned the scene where Shadow kicks Silver in the back of the head, which that was a long time ago, but that segues nicely into another game I played called Sonic Battle Rush, not to be confused with Sonic Battle R. Sonic Battle Rush is an actual 2D fighting game in the style of Marvel vs. Capcom. Currently, the only characters are Sonic and Shadow. Apparently, Knuckles just barely missed the deadline. But it is very fun so far. It has interesting mechanics. For example, every character has their default combo from Sonic Battle, and if you perform it, the launcher will actually send them flying to the other side of the screen, just like it did in Sonic Battle.
Nice, that's my favorite part, when everyone crashes into walls.
Yeah. And Shadow's back grab is the silver kick, where he makes the opponent slow and then kicks him in the back of the head.
Perfect.
Oh, of course he does, because he's a cheater.
Yeah.
He's a pragmatist.
Filthy cheater.
Pragmatist.
A feature that the developer has announced that they're adding is something I feel like more games should have, and it's the ability to select your voice actors.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, because in a future update, he's gonna just have like an option to switch between Ryan Drummond, Jason Griffith, Roger Craig Smith, and Junichi Kanemaru.
What? No, Jello White?
Not yet. Apparently, if maybe in the future, but yeah, he's only shown off those 4.
All right, that's neat.
Yeah.
Still an all-stars cast.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
all archive
Very
material. I
cool.
don't think that he hired them for new lines.
Yeah, definitely.
Although, who knows?
Um,
I mean, Drummond has worked on a lot of fan projects, or at least one of them. You never know.
Yeah.
And Griffin is also pretty cool with the fans, so I guess you could
Yeah.
technically hire them for a...
I mean, they were both in Sonic and Tails R, so
There you go.
So was Pete Capella. He did Silver.
yeah.
All right, did Sonic and Tails R
And-
not get a second season? I haven't followed it.
No, but Silver was in the first season.
True, yep.
This one, yeah.
Lisa Ortiz was back as Amy. Oliver Wyman as Big the Cat.
Mike Pollock.
And
Mike Pollock, of course. Yep.
and
He's
it was-
probably not going to be in the second season, apparently.
Ah,
Aw.
No?
Maybe maybe he heard about the whole controversy thing, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly why. Not so much that like he didn't want to be a part of it because of the controversy. More of controversy happened into something Mike Pollock was a part of. Therefore, everyone needs to go tag Mike Pollock about stuff and ask him his opinion.
Oh,
boy.
brother.
That sucks.
So he's just
Mike
like,
Pollock, Mike Pollock, what do you think
okay.
about this?
Oh, brother.
It's because he's so willing to talk to fans that people think they can just tag him for whatever.
Oh yeah, it's like those annoying Discord servers. You know, people are just constantly pinging like everyone. You think it's something important, like oh no, it's just random.
Oh, I hate that.
But it kind of confuses me anyway. I mean, yeah, sure, Mike Pollock loves talking to people, but I don't think he ever really says anything in depth. It's not like you can talk to him like, hey, tell me about how much Izuka sucks and does dumb things or something. Like, he never has any kind of like the gossipy stuff or something. He keeps it very clean and he remains professional. So I don't really see the point of him asking for like slimy details, like, oh, tell me all about your coworkers and what dirty things they're doing. Like, he doesn't really seem the type to go into that sort of thing. I mean, he barely wants to give you, like, technical information. What was it? That he doesn't give any advice on voice acting unless you pay him? So he's pretty tight-lipped on anything other than just cordial, random messages. So
Yeah,
I don't
pretty
really
much, yeah.
So what's the point of really asking him about anything specific? I mean, you can hang out with him.
No.
For pleasantries, it's great, but for any, like, juicy information, I don't think there's much of a point to it.
I guess just because he did, I don't know, maybe like Sonic is all he's got for voice acting stuff, so if he starts going all gabbing about it, then like Sega's like, alright, out you go.
Even though he is in a couple other things. Like every time I play Just Cause 3, I always hear his voice and Roger Gregg Smith's voice as just random civilians. It's so weird.
Yeah.
Like Sonic and Eggman are just civilians in this world. Ah.
That's actually why I bought Just Cause 3, is because I'm like, Mike Pollock's in this game? You know, I'd been mildly interested in Just Cause, but I figured I'd try it, and so, like, I found it for really cheap, so I bought it, and it's really fun, and then I'm just, like, going around the city, land on a car, and I suddenly hear Mike Pollock yelling at me.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of I think in one of the Grand Theft Auto games, there's there's like a radio station you can listen to, and I think in one of those playthroughs or sound bits, you can actually hear the voice of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force talking a bit.
Oh, that's fun.
This kind of happened to me when I was playing, I think it was Rogue Squadron 2, I think, because I was like in one of the missions, and I hear like one of the people like talking to me, like coming Rogue Squadron or something, and I found out it's Rob Paulson, and I thought, oh, that's cool.
Oh, he's in pretty much everything, yeah. But hey, if you like the Sonic Adventure Dreamcast era, then there's this horror game on the Dreamcast called Blue Stinger, I think, which has the voices of Drummond and Dean Bristow and like all the Dreamcast era Sonic voice actors in there in different parts. It's also kind of cool.
Are you talking about Illbleed?
No, I'm talking about Blue Stinger. But yeah, Illbleed is also a fun game, yeah. But the monstrous final boss Sonic character, yeah.
Yeah, Zodic the Hellhog. Who turned out to be an animatronic controlled by a scientist voiced by Ryan Drummond.
How ironic.
Zodic, I feel like I've heard that before.
Oh yeah, Sonic. Well, I think there's two different versions. Like, there's the Archie Sonic one where it's just, it's Sonic dressed up like Judge Dredd, except he's sideways multi-dimensional police guy trying to keep things in order. And then there's the weird robot thing from the really obscure adventure books.
Well,
Does he look like a bat?
Yeah, but that's Zonic. The one from Illbleed is Zodic.
Yeah, Zodic. Doesn't he look like a bat?
Yeah,
he does. Yeah.
Huh.
Because I feel like I've seen that before.
I thought he looked like a Power Ranger.
That level is all crazy. Like the main character's like looks like Woody from Toy Story and all that, and then it turns into this horror story. It's a crazy game. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah. Okay, speaking of surprise voice actors, one that I can think of, or an instance, was in was it Lego DC Supervillains? So like they got like kind of the standard characters of voice of regulars, blah blah blah. Well, the one thing that really threw me off is that was I think in the Smallville section of the hub, there's like random NPCs that you can like listen into. It's like, oh yeah, there's random guy, and there's random girl, and then suddenly there's Gilbert Gottfried. Like he has like random bits, which is funny because like he's already in the game where he voices Miss Lego Mixius Pitalik or whatever you name him. But yeah, it's like okay, I know he's like, yeah, it's like okay, I know like Gilbert Gottfried has voiced Mixie a couple of times in past Superman media, but hearing him as a random villager in Smallville, it's like okay, that's very random.
Okay.
Every time I hear his voice in something, I just imagine him suddenly ending his lines with screaming out loud, "Oh yeah, and I was also the parrot from Aladdin."
Yeah, I was the parrot from Aladdin, damn it! I'm a fucking movie star!
He was also in a TV show called Cyber Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember
yeah.
that.
I'm very
He
grateful
voiced
for that
yet
show, by
another
the way. It saved me in math.
Oh yeah, I've seen bits of that. Yeah, I think
Can you
also
repeat that, Elise?
I think
It helped you with math?
I think that was.
I
think that
was not very good at math, but that show basically it's a sci-fi fantasy adventure with these kids who are trying to save cyberspace, and they do so by solving math and problems and stuff. And they basically were teaching kids how to do math
yeah,
and other logic problems. And let's just say it saved me because I was horrible at math.
Same
Yeah.
here.
You're not alone there, Elise.
Yeah, it's Adventure
Math was my
series
worst
with-
lesson.
Yeah, sorry,
Adventure
Sala,
series
what do you
with-
want to say? Oh, no.
I think that was Christopher Lloyd as the villain on that show too.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
the villain there. Yeah.
Hacker.
Hacker, that was his name. Yeah.
And Motherboard.
Yeah,
That
motherboard.
weird motherboard thing. Yeah. I mostly just remember just for the fact that Gilbert Gottfried was in there voicing that weird bird character.
Digit.
Oh yeah, Digit.
Digit.
So yeah, it's Digit and Iago and the old Aflac commercials. Yeah, I've been stereotyped and playing all these bird characters.
Gilbert Godfrey was typecast as birds.
He was also a fire alarm as
Parrots,
well.
for some reason.
Oh yeah, he
Oh,
was
yeah, this
Seymour
is-
Smoke.
Yeah, see more smoke at your service. So whenever I hear it or smell it, I make this noise to warn you.
Actually sound like Gilbert Gottfried.
Oh yeah, Melty does a really good impression.
Yeah.
Actually saw
Is it because I'm squawking all the time?
Maybe you should go for a parody or Sonic, or like this cartoon, everyone's gonna be voiced by Gottfried. And it's just nothing
that'd
voicing
be great.
everyone.
Get out of this, Sonic!
Sonic and
Still
Ace being
paying
romantic.
no Lansky!
Silver and Blaze being romantic, both with Gottfried's voice.
I
got
love
a
you, Sonic.
juice.
Yeah, I love you, Sonic. I love you too. Now give me some of that pussy.
No.
Oh boy.
Oh god, imagine an alternate universe if Gilbert Gottfried voiced Robotnik in Adventure of Sonic the Hedgehog instead of Long John Baldry.
Oh, that'd be great. You metallic morons! Do I have to do everything myself?
I'll have to get myself
As
a
usual.
Yeah. Snooping as usual, I see.
There you go.
Perfect.
Just win the race. Just win the race.
Just win the race. I don't care what I did. I found a way to win the race.
Classic song. Yep.
Oh my god.
my gosh.
Exactly. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Gilbert Gottfried. I think one of my favorite bits that he's did was when he voiced Santa Claus in Billy and Mandy Saves Christmas.
Oh,
I actually used that sound bit in my YouTube poop of Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, you know the kids walking up to Santa Jack, you know, Santa, I'll swallow your soul. Blah, 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 blah. Never mind. Then it cuts to a Patrick sound bit.
Wait, Melts, can you do hedgehog stew?
Hedgehog stew. Who's that?
It's another
Oh,
song.
never
from
mind.
the same,
It was a YouTube clip.
Oh, right. Yeah. I assume you want me to do in the Gilbert Godfrey bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Melton.
Oh boy, I'm gonna make some hedgehog stew today. It's the last thing I do. I'm gonna get that blue baboon.
Perfect.
Poor Melton
Sound
is gonna
bited
lose his
forever.
voice today.
To think after this, I gotta do a co-op video with someone else.
oh, fun.
Oh dear.
Well, time to break out the salt water.
Melty just shows up to the next stream. He's like, "Hey guys."
Hope we don't
You'll
get
be
you in
plenty
trouble
warmed
at
up
work.
for it.
This was supposed to be a low energy stream.
Leave it to Melting Man to ruin it all.
You'll never escape the Gilbert Gottfried impression.
This is amazing.
Indeed, we won't.
So did we want to talk about Sonic Prime or something?
Oh yeah, like Sonic Prime and something else, yeah.
No, let's listen to more Gilbert Gottfried impressions.
Holy fuck is this wrong, but holy hell is this erotic.
Oh God. Spicy.
Okay.
Yeah, do you want to discuss 50 Shades of Grey instead?
Ironic thing
Go
about that,
on.
I never actually read that or seen the movie version, but yet I somehow used a sound bit of the whole Gilbert Gottfried in my first YouTube poop video. Yeah, with the one with Roger's videos. Yeah, Robotnik's like, I read 50 Shades of Grey. Isn't that a children's book? Fuck you!
Oh, good lord.
Nice.
I'm sorry. It's just when you mentioned Gilbert Godfrey, that line with 50 Shades of Grey was what I was also thinking of. You just basically said what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well then, how about going on to the Nintendo Direct then?
Oh yes,
Sure.
Marvelous.
I can talk about that.
We'll give our quick thoughts on the Nintendo Direct.
So,
stuff,
everyone's
yeah.
favorite game, F-Zero 99. What about it?
F-Zero 99, 10 out of 10. Not enough Gilbert Gottfried.
Well, after waiting for
Moving
the
on.
hero,
Falcon Punch!
By the way, did you know that Falcon Punch is a real thing?
Huh? What do you
I
mean,
didn't
real
know
thing?
that.
For peregrine falcons, when they dive for their prey, they actually ball their foot up, into a fist.
Oh, wow.
oh, I thought you mean like they punch them so hard it creates a supernova, like the anime.
But yeah, no, Falcon Punch is a real thing.
I
Apparently.
thought you were gonna say. I thought you were gonna say there was like a beverage called Falcon Punch.
No.
Probably too, somewhere.
Oh, a drink.
Yeah. First there's Hawaiian Punch, and now there's
Yeah, well-
Falcon Punch.
Yeah, well, peregrine falcons are actually the fastest animal in the world because they can dive up to 200 miles per hour.
Yep.
Yep.
So you
And-
definitely don't want a Falcon Punch.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. And it happens, like, so quickly. It's just like that. Like, the moment that they strike, it's instantaneous. So,
Yeah, well.
So
lucky for
after
them,
all
they're
this long-
suffering.
But after all this time, waiting for so long, you get F-Zero 99. Hope you're happy with that, F-Zero fans.
Well, I guess in some ways there's like it doesn't seem to be like a 99 thing with a time limit, like what they did with Mario 35 and all that. But who knows?
Yeah.
Well, after waiting for nearly 20 years for a new F-Zero, I'd probably take it.
Yeah. It's something.
Yeah.
Nintendo remembered they owned this IP.
Yeah, meanwhile, Nintendo's like, after 9 years in development, hopefully it'll have been worth the wait.
But they are going nuts with all the Mario like spin-off games, aren't they? Like there's
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
the
yeah,
Game
there's
Boy-
surprisingly a lot.
Donkey
Yeah, there's
Kong's only
surprisingly a-
back and Paper Mario.
Yeah, there's surprisingly a
Yeah.
lot of remastered games coming out. Like the Mario vs. Donkey Kong one. That took me by surprise. Like, oh wow, that's getting the HD treatment. And, well, hey, on the plus side, at least it's the first game and not like, the rest of the series when it became more like Lemmings.
Who knows? But hey,
I was
Sega, pay attention.
quite
Game Boy-
surprised with I was quite surprised with the Tomb Raider remaster because I always wanted to see the
Yeah.
classic Tomb Raider games get remastered, and I thought finally. I mean, the environments still look a bit blocky, but I do like how Lara Croft looks, and I'm hoping they probably fix the controls a bit as well because I remembered how it was difficult to make Lara move, and it was with the tank controls, and we often like have her slip and fall and die and stuff.
Didn't they remake the first game before with the Tomb Raider Anniversary with the whole new engine?
Yeah.
I kind of prefer that
This
one
is like-
because that controls way more smooth. Should
It
just
does make you
remake
wonder
all the
what
games in
they're
that
going to
engine.
do.
Yeah, sorry, Luke, go ahead.
I'm just saying, make you wonder if they're going to do like another one, but with a remastered version of Last Revelation and Chronicles.
Indeed, yeah, that would be my favorite pick.
Yeah, and then then of course there's the one that everyone's talking about. Yeah, Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door remastered. So, hooray! Now the Paper Mario fans can finally stop bitching.
I actually thought that the GameCube version actually looked nicer.
Hmm.
But that's just
Yeah.
me.
I'm fine with either or. I guess with me, I played some of the Paper Mario games. Like I played like the first one. I played a lot of the second one, but sadly, I never completed those. Mostly because I sucked at RPG games when I was younger. But I do remember playing a lot of Super Paper Mario. That was a fun game, even though back then that was considered as the black sheep of the family. But yeah, that's it. I haven't really played any of the newer games. I just know a lot of people say like, "Oh, Stick of Stars" when the series went downhill and blah 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 blah. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't played those games
Yeah,
myself.
Sega Star is really boring. Although Origami King is kind of winning me over. I thought it was just the same, but it actually does have a lot of awesome set pieces and music.
Paper Mario 1 and 2 had a unique story, and every single character, even the Toads, looked different from each other. It's from that point onward that they started copy-pasting characters and
Yeah.
just being like generic. Bowser does something bad and kidnaps the princess.
It's always been frustrating to me that they never use the Mario RPGs to do any world building now. Like Waluigi or Wario or Daisy never show up or anything. It's always just the regular 4. Waste opportunity, but hey, that's Nintendo for you. But hey, at least they're making RPGs. Sega, why don't we have a Sonic RPG yet? Guess
Because
we did.
because
Yeah, we
Chronicles
did.
really scared them off. Yeah, thanks, Panders.
Well,
I love Chronicles.
yeah, the whole deal with Dimps and Ken Benders. Yeah, that must have really scared them off from trying to do an RPG. Though then again, I guess the game technically wasn't really made by Sega. That was kind of more made from the American branch, from what I can gather. I don't know.
Was it BioWare that made it?
Yeah,
Yes.
BioWare made the game. So
Yeah.
But he means
And
that
the-
only
whole-
Sega of America was involved with the game, I assume.
yeah, especially with
The
how
whole
they
thing
have,
with Ken Penders. Sorry
Oh,
for
yeah.
interrupting. The Ken Penders thing I was just going to say was, yeah, that whole thing was pretty bad. But if it weren't for it, we'd never have the IDW stuff and My Girl Tangle and all that stuff.
You win one, you lose one.
You win one, you
Yeah.
lose one.
Yeah, the whole Ken Penders thing with Sonic Chronicles is just so stupid. Like, oh, yeah, Echidna tribe, they're ripping me off, blah, 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 blah. It's like, yeah, well, what about the Echidna tribe from Sonic Adventure? Shut up. That's my shit, too. Brr, 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 brr.
And then Paramount
Yeah.
with the movie.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, he had a bit of a bitch fit about that. Like, hey, that's Log, that's my character. Like, no. No, it is not.
You're gonna sue Paramount. Good luck with that.
Yeah, he was toying with the idea, but I guess he realized that he would absolutely lose that.
Yeah, so in other words, it would be like a Simpsons scenario. Yeah. Yeah, oh, Paramount, I have a bunch of contracts and blah, blah, blah. Yes, well, I have 10 high-priced lawyers.
Yeah, winning from Sega is easy. They never do their homework. But Paramount, oh, they're professionals with that sort of stuff.
Well, that's because Paramount actually does stuff while not being too damn lazy like Sega.
Yeah.
But that's just me taking pot shots at Sega again.
Yeah.
I guess.
Again,
one
we
game,
got fan work.
I'll
one
get
game
it.
I like to talk about is the Princess Peach game, because it's really interesting that she's getting her own spin-off game again, and I like the idea of her.
I was just about to talk about that.
Oh, my apologies.
You beat me to it.
Well, I was going to say, I like the idea of her changing different costumes in that. And my first thought when I saw it, I was like, hang on, this is kind of like Mr. Ben. Because I can imagine her being like also a clown or a spaceman, maybe. Spacewoman, maybe.
Oh yeah, Peach game. So yeah, hooray! Peach gets a brand new game, and it looks definitely interesting with the stage plays and everything. So that's already a win for me with my long history of doing stage plays in theater.
But what is it?
Especially
It's like a
music
mini game
theater.
collection, or what the heck is it? I didn't get it. So,
Well,
that-
it looks.
that-
Well, it looks like there's some mini games, but for the most part, it looks like it's more kind of an exploration game. Kind of reminds me of Luigi's Mansion in a way. You know, just walking around, exploring areas and stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely
Might be like,
concerned with.
Mini games, puzzles, and everything all in one.
I'm definitely concerned about what the general gameplay is going to be like, because like Sword Fighter Peach looked really cool. Like, oh, this could be interesting, like combat gameplay, and then it immediately moves on to Detective Peach and Patissier Peach, and I'm like, I don't think there's going to be that much combat.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Sword Fighter Peach, yeah, that is definitely becoming a fan favorite after that reveal.
Oh yeah,
It's definitely going to be
There's-
like the kind of thing where Princess Peach does like a lot of cute things, and you're going to buy the game just to see her do all that stuff.
Well, hey, it worked in Super Princess Peach with all the emotion gimmick thing, yeah.
but that was at least an
There-
actual platforming game, and not just random mini games. But we'll see.
There's already someone making a mod of Sword Fighter Peach in Super Smash Bros. To go over Marth.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah.
In a way, it's kind of like being carried over from the Mario movie with Peach kicking up, being more of a fighter in that.
Yeah. Seems like this is the day of retconning damsels in distress for Nintendo and Sega. You know, Peach becoming more of a fighter, and now Amy is becoming more of a fighter.
But Amy
Yeah.
ain't getting her own games.
Yes.
Well, let's count Amy's American Page one.
And
Of course,
there it is.
Oh, yeah, you thought that was the end of it, eh?
Or the McDonald's beach volleyball thing, I think.
Oh, yeah.
There is our Amy's American Page 1 quota filled. And now, if only we could squeeze in Red Pine.
I think
Yeah,
if they were to make... I'm sorry. If they were to make an Amy spin-off game, they should make it more like a Thor game, where her hammer operates a bit like Mjolnir, where she like throw it at enemies and retrieve it back and like use it to smash into the ground to create massive shockwaves, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. Again, like those warrior games, like Hyrule Warriors, been something
Yeah.
first, and then with that Amy, and then and a whole army of red pines to fight. That would be perfect.
Yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Metarex, yeah.
Oh, hey, maybe better. Maybe
All roads
next...
lead to Red Pine.
Yep.
Well, hey, maybe next year for Sage, like 2024, maybe we can finally get Sage, Red Pine's Epic Adventure. Yeah, it's flying through space. Yeah.
Being sucked
He
into black
just
holes all
flies
the
through
time.
space and right into a black hole. And that's the whole game.
Congratulations, you have succeeded in helping a Red Pine suicide mission.
Oh no.
Poor red.
And now he gets reborn to a plant. Yeah, but which gender though?
And you throw the plant into the black hole.
Yeah,
There you go.
you throw it in the black hole. You know better. I think we should just get a Red Pine golfing simulator. Red Pine is the golf ball.
It is the golf ball.
Yeah, he is the golf ball.
And the
Be
black hole
trying
is
to get
the
a-
hole while you kick the
Yeah.
ball in.
Get a black hole in one.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Red Pine? In the hole.
In the,
In the hole.
how deep
Oh
even
my.
is this thing?
Oh my.
That was my favorite Red Pine.
What's in the hole?
I'm in the hole. I may be called Red Pine, but friends used to call me Woody.
Oh God.
And then, why are you so calm about this? I'm more worried about the three-headed space octopus. What three-headed space octopus? And it's Dark Oak, Narcissus, and whatever that other. I don't remember.
Pale Bayleaf. That was his name. Pale
Bayleaf. Whatever.
Yeah, clearly.
He has as much personality as a Bayleaf.
Yeah. Pale Bayleaf did like nothing. I'm surprised he made it to the end.
Yeah. No, clearly he'll never be as important as Red Pine.
Yeah.
I remember watching your streams and you guys just kept bringing up Red Pine.
It's because he's the best character.
He's the best.
Yeah.
We all thought Helen was the best character. No, it was Red Pine.
Or heck, maybe Red Pine is Helen, and that's why we never see her in the show again.
Yeah, you never see them both in the same room.
Yeah.
Sega's new experimental video game, Red Pine, now voiced by Gilbert Gottfried.
Fear the wrath of Red Pine!
Perfect.
I have a rant about black holes.
It ran around.
Ah, black holes, my only weakness!
I will be dreaming good tonight.
Dreaming sexy wet dreams of Red Pine.
Oh,
He's so perfect because he's the first impression you get of the Redirect, and he's just defeated without having any input in anything at all. That's why he's so
Oh, Red Pine, soothe me with your voice.
Oh, Addy! Let's go frolic in the beach together and have our own nude beach.
what did I walk into today?
You thought you were talking Sonic Prime, instead you're talking Gottfried and Gilbert and Red Pine.
Only here on Dissected Alive.
You guys have nearly suffocated me at least 3 times.
Oh my god.
Anyone still alive?
Yes.
No,
I'm not dead yet.
Barely.
Anyway, so Nintendo Direct.
Oh yeah.
What else was there? Oh,
They brought back
obviously.
Contra.
Yeah, a new remake of Contra with a 4-player co-op. Looked like that'll be
really
interesting.
strange because a lot of the assets are very detailed, but then the backgrounds are very empty, so it gives me a very weird balance.
Yeah, I saw a screenshot of that. Yeah, it kind of looks like a random mobile phone game. Yeah.
What a shame! I like Contra, but yeah, that's clearly a low budget stuff. I love it.
I guess they decided to spare Commander Keen's mobile phone game for a Contra mobile phone game.
Fair enough. Hey, at least it looks like an actual Contra game, unlike the Commander Keen game.
Oh, you did that Commander Keen mobile phone game? Did they even show gameplay of
No,
it?
as soon as everyone's negative, they canceled it.
Yeah, it was just the opening cutscene, and then all hell broke loose, and they're like, "Okay, fine, we won't do it."
Not the reaction they expected. No.
They also showed off Horizon Chase 2, which is a arcade-style racing game, kind of like Cruisin' or Outrun.
Yeah, I love that
So-
one, the first one. So that's good.
Yep. That looks interesting.
Yep.
Oh, they're making a freaking Anya game from Spy Family.
Oh,
it
yeah.
looks cute.
Aww.
I thought it was like a anime.
It is.
It is.
It is. Yeah, but they're making a game out of it, so...
Yeah, what else? Oh yeah, more info about the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon being ported to Switch. Although it looks like now they're just gonna go like, okay, fuck the whole US name we gave it. We're just gonna call it Luigi's Mansion 2, like everything else.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so weird. That's like, oh, it's called Dark Moon in the U.S., but everywhere else it's Luigi's Mansion 2.
The graphics
But-
look nice in it.
Yeah.
Trombone Champ is coming to Switch. And weirdly enough, it's one of, like, the only 2 games... I mean, 3 now, but, like, one of the only games on the Switch that actually uses the IR sensor on one of the Joy-Cons. So you can just use your hand to actually play the game. And also, there's co-op, which sounds horrendous.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's pretty
Then.
interesting.
Yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2. Yeah, that's bringing back the co-op. So hey, maybe I can experience that because I completely missed out on the co-op mode for the 3DS version, which I'm sure now the servers are dead.
I liked the look of the Splatoon DLC.
Yes! Oh my god, yes!
Oh yeah.
Thank you for reminding me. I'm so freaking hyped about that. Pearl and Marina are back, and so is
Right
Age of
there.
8. I'm not all right. I have to wait a long time to play this, so I am not all right.
There, you'll be fine.
Ah, yeah, Splatoon. Yeah, that's definitely another game series that I still have yet to play, despite already. I bought the first game for like Wii U at a used game store, which of course by now no one's playing the first game.
Sure, yeah.
Uh,
But Splatoon 2 and 3 are still pretty active, and they're both great.
Ah, yeah. Now it just makes you wonder, like, okay, which one am I gonna get around to first? Like the Splatoon games, or go back to Team Fortress 2 and actually play the official Saxton Hale versus mode.
Yeah, there you go.
When is Team Fortress 3 coming out?
Yeah. Well, no one Valve never because they can't count to 3.
They can't count to 3.
Yeah, they can't count.
The real question, Melts, are you a squid or are you a kid?
I'm a banana.
That,
Oh no, it's just
Acceptable.
And I'm Kanye West. I love the earth.
Yeah,
And
if I
I'm
was a
Madison.
banana- no, wait, scratch that. I'm not really a banana. I'm Gilbert Gottfried.
There we go. Good.
there we go. Right back.
Oh boy.
Poor Elise, here it comes again. Unrelentingly.
Oh, so,
We'll never die.
Back to the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, do we have to?
Hopefully.
It's a mood.
There's a new map coming to Among Us. Isn't that exciting, everyone? Among Us.
Among Us.
In 2023, Among Us.
There's a fungus among us.
Yeah,
yeah.
there is. Because it's a fungal themed level.
Yeah, that's another game I haven't played. I don't know. I think the memes kind of scared me off of it. You know, the whole like sus thing is like, oh, yeah. Once was common sentence mixing for YouTube poops, and now it's a separate meme thingy. Yeah.
It just, yeah, that's definitely something that's kind of retroactively even funnier about YouTube poops now is the constant use of sus.
Yeah, sauce.
Actually, if you go to the Dissected stream and look at what Roger is animating right now, what does that remind you of?
Hold on. Let me...
Oh,
That
looks
seems to
like.
mean nothing. What do you mean? What do you see, you pervert?
Oh,
Oh, we're going to go like that now, are we?
What have I drawn?
I'm seeing
Yeah,
background.
What, just so I have nice dreams about Red Pine voiced by Gilbert Gottfried does not make me a pervert.
What the heck was that?
No, like the weird stand that Roger's drawing. Like, yeah, that's what she's going off of. Like, oh, that's the Among Us dude or whatever they're called.
Oh,
Who
yeah.
makes-
Hey, I'm not happy you recognize it was a stand, so I did my job.
stand?
So I didn't do my job. There you go.
I thought it looked like a hamburger shop there.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It just
It looks kind of sus.
basically, generally rounded shapes in the color red are just kind of ruined forever.
Oh no.
And that's why you don't see those kind of trash cans anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember them always posting those pictures up on Twitter, making it look like it's one of those spacemen.
Alright, make it a different color already.
We did it, people. We contributed.
I don't know if that's gonna help because I mean those space dudes come in a variety of colors. So
Yeah, but red is the most iconic, so
just like red
It's
pine.
the most striking.
yeah.
Yo,
We can all go back. We can all go back and watch this episode of Imp and know that we contributed.
There's one entire background that's a different color, thanks to you. I'll give you special credit for that.
Thank you.
Ah,
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so aside from the new map thing, we also have another important thing, and that's Sora Amiibo. Yay!
Oh yeah.
Took
Yeah,
them
they
long
find-
enough.
Yeah, they're finally finishing off the Smash Brothers roster of Amiibos, which I actually only have two. I have one of Mr. Game & Watch. I got it used. It's just the one with his judge pose. It's missing the other features that you can add on. And of course, the other one I got is my boy Banjo-Kazooie, which is still in the box with my other small bunch of Banjo-Kazooie merch.
Yeah.
Actually,
I'm more
have,
looking forward. Sorry, I'm more looking forward to the Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, and Ganondorf amiibos myself.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I have Wolf Link and Midna. I have that amiibo.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have 6 amiibo. Only 2 of them are 3. 2 of them are from Smash. I have the Sonic Smash amiibo and the Ken Smash amiibo. But I also have just a generic Wario one. I have Inkling Boy and Pearl and Marina, which I'm really mad about that one because they stopped selling Pearl and Marina, so I had to buy it. I had to import it from Japan, and
wow.
it was super expensive. And a week afterwards, they announced that they were reprinting them.
Oh no.
Yes, I'm actually kind of surprised that the whole Amiibo thing is still going. It's not as big as it used to be with the whole Toys to Life craze, but I'm kind of surprised that it hasn't died off yet. I kind of figured, okay, maybe after Smash, then they'll stop, but who knows?
Survived longer
Yeah,
than
it-
Disney, Infinite, and Skyward thingies, and Lego. Yeah.
Yep,
Nintendo knows what
Skylanders.
they're doing.
Oh yeah,
It's
Outlet
weird
for all.
because no games really use Amiibo much anymore.
yeah. It's only the Nintendo ones. Yeah.
they're just collectibles.
Yeah.
Yeah, collecting minifigures. That's pretty much what I've done with my Amiibos.
Seg-
They're just minifigs.
Sega should really use their Sonic Amiibo for more things.
Yeah, it's surprising they never bothered doing that with any Sonic games. Well, I
I'm
mean,
so
then again,
surprised they never brought the Avatar back for Team Sonic Racing and all that. Heck, they don't even bring it
yeah.
back for Sonic Superstars, even though they bring in a new character to the thingy.
well, Sega, whenever they come up with an idea and establish it, it's 90% of the time it's a one and done deal.
That or they run it into the ground, like Boost and Classic Sonic.
Yeah, that or they just bring it back but downgrade it more, like the treasure hunting in Sonic Adventure, and of course the boosting from going great from Sonic Unleashed to being absolute shit in Sonic Forces.
Oh well. Poor Sega. Never does it right for us ungrateful fans.
And now they're just more pandering towards the classic fans, That bastard and his ungrateful classic fanboys are getting too much attention these days.
Indeed.
Well, hey, we still have fan works.
Yep.
Says the eternal optimist in the chat.
Indeed.
And as long as it's not, as long as it's not the doing it just for the memes kind of crap, yeah.
Yeah,
None of
but
that
there are people and fans who genuinely care and want to make something good. So I think it's great that Sega does allow them the creative freedom to do that.
Segue into you advertising your fan fiction you're writing on. You're working.
Oh boy! Okay, I did not.
Put me on the spot there. It's the Roger way.
You set me up.
You set yourself up.
Okay, well, give me a second. I'm pulling up my DeviantArt page. Yeah, because I'm also working on a Sonic fan fiction called Sonic Legacy, and it's starting from Sonic Adventure, and it's going to. I'm doing pretty much the main series games. Let's just say I have the first 6 series the first 6 or 7 stories generally ideas laid out, and Euan has been helping me with it. He's been reading and giving me advice, and occasionally you guys also help me with it.
Oh, we never explained Euan isn't here. Whoops. You said it's a simple name. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, next time the both of us are on there, we'll have to... Anyway, so yeah, I've done like drawings and fan fictions for that. I mostly do writing, and I am putting a link to it in the studio chat. So for my DeviantArt, but I've also got it on fanfiction.net, archive of our own. So yeah. And I have to say it's been very interesting to write, because what I've been trying to do with these characters is that you find out later there is an overarching narrator, but for now I was trying to find a voice, as it were, for each of the characters, so you know who the focus is on. And that's been interesting.
Yeah, it's a challenge, yeah, writing in different voices.
Yeah, because yeah, because I was trying to think, like, for Sonic, he would be less detail-oriented. He just would say things as they happen. With Tails, he's more observant, but he also thinks scientifically, I guess, is the best way to put it. And then you have Knuckles, who's very straightforward, to the point, and...
to the heart of the matter, yeah. Duty-driven.
Yeah, to the heart of the matter. And then you have my newcomer, Alex. She's my fan character, and I'll get a picture of her. 1 second. Oh, bonkers. Sorry.
We'll have to read
Yeah.
it once it's finished.
Yeah, well, I'm posting chapter by chapter, so you can... I've got, like, the first... I want to say 16 chapters out. Yeah. And,
Don't let me write fan fiction.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, with her, she's a bit more, I would say, emotionally descriptive. So it's more like what's going on inside her head and what she's feeling in the moment, as well as, you know, what she's seeing around her. So giving each of them like a different voice, for Sonic being in the moment, Knuckles being focused and stuff. That was interesting to write. And also because I love Sonic Adventure as well, but I wanted to improve on it, as it were. I'm not claiming to be the best improvement, but so far it was fun, and making everything work in a cohesive timeline, because it bothers me when there are inconsistencies, and I notice them, and I say this in my own work as well. Like, I have gone over these chapters and I've seen like grammar and spelling mistakes, or even like minor things that maybe the audience might not realize, and I'm like, I gotta fix that. So yeah, I'm a perfectionist when it comes to that. But yeah, so far this has been fun, and I know that you guys have been reading it, like, if I am understanding it correctly, and if you want to give me any feedback on what you think of it so far, feel free.
Awkward silence.
Your stunned silence is very reassuring.
It's great. I totally read it. Absolutely.
I did narration work for you.
Huh?
Hey, I'm still.
Wait,
recovering.
Sala, okay, so I know you and Luke have at least read some of it.
Yeah.
Because I sent you the scripts.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember liking it. Yeah, I did narration work for you. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
did. Sorry I haven't gotten back to you on that, by the way. It's just school has been kicking my rear end.
And you seem to really like my my Dr. Eggman voice as well.
Oh my
so-
gosh! When you first sent it to me, I was like, "Jeez."
Huh? Do it. What is your Robotnik voice?
Oh god, I gotta remember the lines now.
Here, I can send you the chapter or the script.
It's a generic Eggman line.
Okay. I with that in mind, I usually think of the Dean Bristow line from Sonic Adventure 1, the "Away before I make mincemeat out of you."
Ooh, nice.
But there's also just, a generic Chaos! Get the emeralds!
Very nice.
Oh, not
I'm
bad.
think
surprised
my-
you're doing the
I think-
T-Bus, though. I thought you were going to do Mike Pollock.
Mike Pollock is a lot harder to imitate for me.
I can imagine, yeah.
But sorry, yeah, Elise,
Yeah.
you were saying something?
Yeah, I think what really also shocked me when you did that was because that was the first time I actually heard the lines I had written being voiced, and so that also had an effect where I was like, "Oh man,
My voice, my
But-
line's coming alive, yeah.
yeah, my lines are coming alive."
But yeah, as reading it, you're definitely improving. It becomes increasingly more smooth. I remember the early ones, it tend to be a little stiff because you're really describing things point by point. Now you're starting to get a
Yeah.
lot more sense of rhythm to it, so it starts to flow a lot better. So it keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Alright, I found the script you sent me.
Oh, goody.
The line I felt most comfortable with. It's that other mystic, Chaos. Get her. She's got the Chaos Emerald.
Yeah, that's pretty
Well
good.
done.
There you go. It also helps
This is
with
the-
writing if you actually hear the voice. It
Yeah.
gives you much
Yeah.
more of an idea of the personality and the flow of the character.
Actually, Luke, wait. No, go ahead, Sala. Go.
Okay, when I sent you my recordings of that, you sounded you typed out very excitedly, but this is my first time hearing your reaction live, and it's so wonderful.
Yeah, it must be very rewarding. More than doing voices for me, I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't expect that from anybody, but it is nice to hear.
Yeah. Well, also, I can be I let's just say I very much express my excitement.
That's true. You wear your heart on your, what's it called? On your sleeves.
Sleeve.
On your
Yeah.
sleeve,
I will
yeah.
say, Luke, though, when you did the lines for the narration, you made me catch a typo that I made. Or a grammar mistake. So thank
Oh,
you,
no.
actually.
Don't worry, you're used to it thanks to my writing.
What typo was that?
You were doing the narrator at one point.
Yeah,
And-
Yeah,
he's
but
asking about the typo.
Yeah, the typo. It was when she was walking out of the train station, and I forgot to put in a word, and so it came off as really awkward.
That's the advantage of having voice actors to say. Okay, then you can really hear, oh yeah, I wrote that kind of awkwardly. Or, forgot
Yeah.
a couple words. Because when you hear it,
Or-
you can really feel there's something missing. Sorry, Sala, go ahead.
Not speaking from experience, Roger.
I'm speaking definitely from experience, yes. Well, you see my scripts, right?
I have, yeah. Do you want me to proofread? I'd do that for you.
Oh, thanks. Maybe I should ask you that, yeah.
But I always think about your Sonic Generations one, and the silver voice actor actually just says skyscrapers.
Yeah, skyscraper.
What a trooper.
Uh,
Gave me exactly what he asked for, unfortunately.
Skyscraper.
at least I got that.
There was what I did with Tikal in the Sonic Adventure one. And here's the embarrassing thing. I was the one who proofread that script. And the line was supposed to be, and so chaos was born, but the word was war instead of was. And so I said, so chaos war born. And at first I'm like, that doesn't make any sense, but then I saw the subtitles and I'm like, oh, that's what it was supposed to be.
Chaos Warboard.
Yeah, war board.
And I take full responsibility for that. I was the one who proofread the script, and I didn't catch that.
Oh my gosh.
That's fitting for my brand. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I can't really think of any weird line mysteries I can think of. I think the most I could think of is like the very early episodes of my Forgotten Media series where I sounded a bit different, hadn't quite improved on certain things. Like if you watch the first 3 episodes of my Forgotten Media series, it sounds like I'm trying to record the stuff at like 4 in the morning, so I'm like very slow and very slurish. And that was mostly because I was still recovering from jaw surgery around that time.
Ooh.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I think the thing with you is that you write very much off the flow of your thoughts. I kind of do that myself. How do you put that?
Yeah, off the top of your head.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, where it just kind of flows out of your head and you don't really construct it very well.
Yeah, that's what I used to do with with a lot of my really, really older videos. And then after my piss poor Crash Bandicoot rant I did, that was back in the day with the Titans and Mutants, and I was the hardcore Crash band, like, oh, the new design suck, and you
you were the classic fan once. Ooh.
That fucking video. But yeah, after I did that rant, it's like, it didn't turn out as well as I thought. So from then on, I started scripting my videos. So I had my thoughts more organized. That I've been doing for maybe over 10 years or so. I can't remember.
I found your videos, Melting Man, when I was sick with anemia.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think you told me that, yeah. So, well, at least it was nice that my videos kind of helped you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah, well, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sorry,
I was
Addy.
thinking of doing scripting.
What was that, Addy?
I was thinking of doing scripting for my series, but I think it's more fluid when it's just on the spot.
Yeah, but you talk mostly about your own experience, so then that works better if you really do it from the top of your head. Yeah,
Straight from the heart.
straight
Yeah.
from the heart. There you go.
Yeah.
Because it's
May
really
your
about
heart
you
be
and
your
your own
gui-
experiences. So
Yeah. May your heart be your guiding key.
best not to filter that too much then.
But when you guys do your own things and you have scripts, like you're just single creators. People won't mind that you make mistakes, like spelling errors or vocal blunders or whatever.
Key is to be funny. If you're funny enough, they forget all of it. That's my entire career.
Yeah.
Funny
or visual,
enough, you get away with everything.
Yeah, or visual blunders, because I know Rogers had a fair share of that.
It's part of the style. It's part of the joke. You're supposed to. And I do that on purpose.
Yeah.
Trust me.
It's on purpose because
My favorite one was
Oh yeah, like saying the whole Lego Death Egg robot is cool, even though that was using an image of a fan-made one and not the official one that was shown off.
They showed a gameplay style though. Well, oh well. Stupid mistake. Sorry.
my favorite one is Sonic Lost World in minutes, where the art style at the end just devolves because that's just how it feels like in the game.
Yep. The writers just gave up. It's like, all right, fuck this. Whee!
Oh no, I
Yes,
picked up my fart pipe by mistake.
it really is how
Put up your
Lost
summer
World
suit.
ends.
Shut up, I don't care.
Yeah. Sonic, you're standing in my screen time.
Make noise here.
And then Sonic died. The end.
If only. Nah.
Speaking of Sonic, should we mention something about Sonic Prime?
Oh yeah.
Technically, we
something.
should. Yeah, do we still have time for that?
Yeah.
Energy for that?
Yeah, let's try and give a lesser.
Someone did put a small question in the chat if we all saw the latest Sonic Frontiers update trailer and what we thought about it.
Yeah,
Not much to say yet, is there? I mean, yeah, at least we know it's an alternative version of the final boss section. But
Yeah, that's sort of a retcon or something.
well, what they said is that Sage was having all kinds of fear, but before the final boss, Sage has a moment where she's going through all the possible outcomes, and I think the press snippet said that this is one of those scenarios she had in her mind or something. So that's the idea. It's a what if story. So what if they went with a different tactic?
Mm-hmm.
Which now makes me wonder which one is canon. But yeah, We'll see what
Oh,
happens.
goody, it's Shadow the Hedgehog all over again.
But yeah, I'm not sure what to think. On one hand, I guess it's nice that they finally do something about the final boss because it's very anticlimactic. On the other hand, I kind of like how pathetic anticlimactic boss is now. Now, at least it's a funny joke. Like, oh, they're fighting a rock in space. Now I'm worried they're trying to make like an actual final boss, and now it's no longer that funny. I mean, if they actually make a good final boss, then hey, at least we get something cool. But I'm worried they just make something boring. It's like, okay, it's an improvement, but now it's no longer funny. And it's still too boring to be like an actual proper improvement, so that just makes it worse. So we'll see what happens. But I kind of liked having the moon as the final boss in like a parody, pathetic kind of way. But that's me.
Yeah, there's unfortunately not too much to go off of yet. We've just gotten some like still images. Amy has her tarot cards. That's neat.
Oh yeah, that was a thing that she does.
Yeah, they're slowly remembering that. She's used them a few times in the IDW comics, and I think she also used them in Sonic Mania Adventures.
Yeah. Well, I'm not sure about Mania Adventures, but in Origins, I think. So you see her.
Oh, okay.
Cuts.
Yeah. It was Origins.
So yeah, they're finally remembering what their personality is supposed to be. That's nice.
I will say I've also brought back in my fan fiction Amy's tarot cards, and I do plan to go into more of like how she uses them.
How does she use them? To track down Sonic?
No, she doesn't use them to track down Sonic. Beings in the Sonic universe, I've called them like chaos inclined, is that they can use chaos energy. And Amy's energy is attuned to clairvoyance. And she uses her cards to try and get a better reading on what this intuition is that she has.
Fair enough. I think the manual always said she uses them to find Sonic, which I found interesting. Because how does that work? She draws the card of tower, and then, I'm going to go around every single tower on the planet until I run into Sonic randomly.
But yeah, I do go into...
Tower.
No, go ahead, Sala.
The tower card represents a major obstacle. I know that because of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and their first enemy was the Tower of Grey.
That'd be funny. So Amy pulls that card, so she immediately runs towards every single problem that happens. Like, volcano's about to burst and going there. Robotnik is doing something and running there. I'm gonna run into Sonic eventually. He's gonna be being a hero somewhere. But yeah, sorry for interrupting. Yeah, go ahead.
You're okay. Also in Chapter 15, which is where Amy does her tarot card reading for Sonic, to show her like what she's been sensing. Let's just say there is a foreshadowing in there with 4 of those cards.
Dun dun dun. Death.
No.
Well, death doesn't mean death anyway in tarot cards. Just change.
Yeah, which is weird.
She'll use her cards to send her enemies to the Shadow Realm.
There you go. Go find Thomas the Train there. But yeah, Sonic Prime, are we going to go there?
Sure.
Eventually.
Yeah.
So, I think we can all agree, as we have said many times on this show, Sonic is an idiot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, at least it's more of the fun kind of video, not the boring ass Sonic Boom version. At least that's just me.
He's energetic. I'll give him that. Yes.
I did make some notes.
Sure. Go ahead.
Onto the series. First, I want to say that the animation of the series is easily its greatest strength.
Yep.
The characters are well designed, the action scenes are fluid and full of energy, the environments are very well detailed, and the visual effects are amazing. If another Sonic show comes out, I hope they use this style of animation again because it is just perfect for Sonic. Heck, I would love to see a game with cutscenes like this.
Yes, amen to that.
And also, I'm sending this picture in the chat, but... Okay, I don't know why, but okay, there's a scene where Shadow is stalling the Chaos Council from getting to, I think it's the No Place. And he's taking out the robots who are trying to fix the thrusters that he broke. And they treat the scene like a horror, like something out of a horror movie, with him just like zipping around to take out all these robots. But for some reason, the initial attack, which I've put a picture in the chat of, for some reason, I don't know why, but it reminds me of Shadow's, or it reminds me of Roger's parodies.
I don't see it
I
in the
don't
chat.
know why. Because it's like Shadow just comes in from the bottom of the screen, and he just takes out the robots. And for some reason, it's just that one. He's just zipping around like Superman, taking out all these robots. I don't know why, but it reminds me of Roger's parodies.
It just makes me think of the takedowns in the Batman Arkham games.
Oh.
Depicted a Sala outfit with Superman Shadow.
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, like,
you put it in the studio chat. I put it in live chat for you because
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't see Elise's message. But yeah, I got
it,
it. Ooh.
you put it in the studio chat where the little thing up in the top right of our chat, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Sorry, I'm pathetic with this.
Just as long as you get it. But yeah, that's the one. Like, I will say that was one of my favorite scenes, and that's one I kind of remember the most, just because of how Shadow just
went loose. Yeah.
You kind of have to keep in mind that Roger still hasn't gotten around to seeing the new batch of Sonic Prime episodes.
I think one bit in Sonic Prime that does make me laugh is when the Green Hill loop-de-loop gets slightly damaged in any way, and Sonic goes, no!
Yeah, I'm just like,
Oh.
yeah, Sonic's all like, no, and I'm like, good, fuck that hill.
No, not my precious loop-de-loop!
It's like, am I the only one who thinks it's like kind of callous that Sonic has more concern about a loop-de-loop than he does about his own friends?
Yes.
He's
Or
the
a trade
representation of Sega. We gotta pay. Like, no, my nostalgia pandering.
Oh,
Actually, you know what? If he's the representative of Sega, I can see why his friends are stuck that way.
I mean, I guess that is fitting. Because, like, obviously Sega cares more about Green Hill than Sonic's friends. But, like, I suppose in this moment, like, Sonic still thinks he can save everyone and not just, like, have to choose between the Shatterverse and his home dimension. So, to him, the loop getting destroyed is more of a permanent problem.
The thing is, it keeps getting destroyed in every single world. Like, it gets destroyed in the No Place, even though it's underwater, so nobody can see it. It's already ruined because it's underwater. And then it gets ruined again at the end with the showdown. And then Sonic is more concerned about that than he is about... like,
Really? They make that a
Shadow's
theme?
thing.
Oh man, it's like they begging me for a parody there.
Yes, I think that's why they did it. They knew.
I can imagine him screaming out like Luke Skywalker in Empire Strikes Back, going, no! No!
No,
He does actually.
yeah, no, not the loop with the big hole. Like, what else am I gonna stick my chili dog in?
Oh, jeez.
Oh.
Man! You pervert.
Aren't we all?
Oh, I thought I was the
Yes.
perfect.
Various degrees.
I'm just the one making sexual innuendo jokes, yeah.
Elise is not amused.
Yeah, we still need a bunch of Elise sound bites for our sound card, yeah. Elise.
Oh my gosh.
There we go.
Oh no. Every single time Melting Man says something perverted. We're gonna need that. Oh no.
Oh no. I've noticed that when I've joined you guys for streams and something like that comes up, I just say, "Oh no."
So that's why you were concerned about the soundboard we have. Oh no!
It's like, is that me? Like, well, I think it might be now.
Oh yeah, the wee bit. Yeah.
No, it was the.
Oh yeah, that
What was that sound from Sonic seeing Green Hill Zone getting hurt?
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so so if we're done talking about Green Hill and the possible innuendo jokes I could do, yes, how about that new robot Sonic, eh?
Oh god, no! Screw him to the. He needs to stop. Oh,
I'll take it as everyone hated him except Addy.
I love how annoying he is.
Yes. I like if he was like in the normal series, I would hate him. But because he's in Prime and he gets to annoy Prime Sonic, I love him. It's like, yes, get a taste of your own medicine.
And Sonic does not learn, because why would he? He's too dense. And he even outright says at one point, man, if I was this annoying, I think I need a personality check or something like that. But he doesn't learn from that robot. And it's not even Sonic who takes him out. It's 9.
Hell yeah. I'm a bit indifferent with was it? Yeah, Chaos Sonic. Yeah, it's not Metal Sonic, Chaos Sonic. And yeah, I'm just, I was like, oh, it's decent. It's like, oh, Metal Sonic has a voice, like, nothing new, because, you know, OVA, Sonic Heroes, Archie Sonic. And then, of course, there's all that big discussion and rant. It's like, oh, well, how is Sonic, like, surprised to see a robot Sonic when we already had, like, Metal Sonic, blah, blah, blah. So more of that, bitching about, like, oh, they keep saying Sonic Prime is canon to the games, but how is this, blah, 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 blah. And Ian Flynn kept saying, like, hey, like, next batch of episodes should explain stuff and blah, blah, blah. But no, it's like, for me, like, no, Sonic Prime will forever be its own separate dimension. Don't just say that it's canon for the sake of saying it's quote-unquote canon.
Yeah.
Speaking of, here's a note I have for it being canon. It's like, for a series that is meant to introduce viewers to Sonic, I think it does a poor job. Even as a standalone thing, it doesn't do a good job. You kind of need to have some information about Sonic to know what is going on, and especially to understand why these different versions of Sonic and his friends would affect him the way that they do. Because if it's meant to be an introduction to, like, Sonic, I don't think it does a very good job, because it throws in references that people are like, what the heck is this? You know, what is so significant about this Chaos Emerald? Or why should we care that Sonic's friends now have different personalities? You know, we haven't spent enough time with the Prime versions of those characters. And it goes back to something that I think Roger talked about once, where it was with Sonic Boom, and it was that Sonic Boom was relying more on external logic rather than internal logic, and it's just more of, like, pop culture view of Sonic instead of, like, actual lore and in-depth stuff. Where if you look at other series like Sad AM, Underground, and Sonic X, they were also their own thing. And with Sonic X cases, they did adaptations of the adventure games, but they established their world ahead of time so that when you got into the adventure stories, you were with the characters. You know, it's like you understood what their motives were, you understood who they are, like who they were in relation to each other, and so you felt the stakes there. Whereas with Prime, it's all a clean slate, and the only way that you could really care is if you, like, already knew something about the series ahead of time.
Yep, agreed totally. A very good point. But of course, it's my point before, so of course I agree. But yeah.
But also, yeah, but then this leads me to another issue, like the biggest issue I think it has, and it's the biggest weakness I think the show has is its pacing. It's all action and has an underlying sense of urgency all the way through, yet the whole thing feels bloated, as 90 to 95% of the show is action, and it quickly becomes white noise. It feels like a mini arc of a larger series that got stretched out to 24 episodes. I say the pacing is the biggest issue because it is the crux of a lot of problems, the main one being the characters. Because if all you have is action scenes running around, there's only so much action can tell you about a character.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue as well. As you say, like the constant sense of urgency. Like you need a break. You need to cut it off at some point. That's why I wanted it to be more episodic. But because it wants to be like a movie that keeps going, it becomes very exhausting. Yeah, because now you're just waiting for the climax. Like I already know where it's going, so just get over there. But now you have to keep in that sense of urgency, and it doesn't really go anywhere. It's like,
Elise and Roger, Sonic, he hit the robot though. It was awesome.
That is true.
He hit the robot.
I agree. The action scenes are pretty awesome, but indeed, it would have been nicer if there was more of a breathing room to get there.
Yeah, with that whole bit. My views have kind of altered with Sonic Prime. Like at first, with the first batch of episodes, like action scenes, woo! Because with how Sonic, the last TV show with Sonic Boom was just so fucking boring and everything. And then we got the next batch of episodes of Sonic Prime, and then it's like, at this point, it's kind of starting to feel more like filler. That's the best way I can describe the current batch of Sonic Prime episodes. We're pretty much at the filler point of the series.
But he hit the robot.
He sure did. That was awesome.
He hit the robot, all right.
And he hit him again, and again, and again.
And again.
But it needs something. It needs more Red Pine. If he hit Red Pine, it would have been so much better.
Here we go.
Yeah,
I do like Knuckles the Dread, though.
I call him knockoff Gollum. Or discount Gollum.
Oh yeah, because that whole me beauty. It's like, that was kind of a thing for like the first.
I just like the idea of Knuckles as an insane pirate.
Oh yeah, it's like sure the joke was funny, me beauty, blah blah blah. But in these current batch of episodes, now it's just becoming more of a drinking game.
Yeah, every time he says my beauty, take a shot. Actually, no, my guy have alcohol poisoning.
Yeah, you alcohol poisoning, you'll drown.
The Dread guy, like, where's the rum gone?
I assume he has to be more of a Captain Ahab rather than a Gollum, but I see your point.
He's basically Ahab mixed with Jack Sparrow.
There you go.
Yeah.
I just consider him a discount Gollum because he keeps going, my beauty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that did start to get annoying for a while, but hey, at least it was cool to see him button heads with the New Yoki Knuckles, whatever his name is. Yeah.
Renegade Knucks.
Renegade, yeah.
Yeah, I do like Renegade Knucks, actually. I think Renegade Knucks and Rebel Rouge, they actually work in this series because they're used primarily in New York, and New York seems to get the most attention out of all the worlds, which I think is probably why the New York characters are the ones that have the stronger characterization.
Or the most marketable.
Yeah, that too.
That too.
But then it makes the other multiverse worlds feel like filler because it's like, we just need people to inhabit these places where the shard is, and they need to be copy-paste versions of the characters. And going back to what I was saying about characters, it's from my notes, it's no secret that I have issues with the characterization of Sonic and his friends in this series, save for Shadow. But the reason why Shadow works so well is because he's used in small doses. That's not to say he hasn't suffered from the writing, because he has. However, out of all the characters, he has been the least affected. The only characters I can think of who have been saved from this are Nux and Rebel, and I just explained why. The other characters are either infuriating, one note, or forgettable. I don't find the Chaos Council to be amusing or even threatening, just one note or unmemorable, or in Dr. Babble's case, annoying. Even though they have a greater presence in this season, I can't remember much about them aside from one detail. So, I don't really...
I've heard someone explain it pretty well, in that, somebody was claiming that, the Chaos Council are interesting because, each one of them is one aspect of the normal Dr. Eggman. Dr. Babble is his childishness, Dr. Deep is his, vanity or whatever. But, somebody else responded, it's just yes, let's take a multi-layered character and just split them into 5 one-note characters. That's really what it is.
And I also got the impression that these were also, personification parodies of, the generations. You have the older Dr. Eggman who's supposed to be, Boomer Eggman, and then you have the the guy with the ninja suit who's supposed to be like like millennial, and then you have the video game guy who's Gen Z, and then you have the baby, and then you have Dr. Eggman who's supposed to be Eggman.
That's a bonus, yeah.
I wonder if that's what they were going for. Yeah.
Yeah, I seriously believe that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Mr. Dr. Eggman is definitely Gen X, and Dr. Babel is Gen Alpha.
I kind of do like the idea of splitting them up, but then you really need to have them interact more, so you can actually see Dr. Eggman's aspects like interact with each other. That's why I kind of like the early Orbot from Sonic Unleashed, because that also kind of felt like two versions of Eggman talking to each other. Like normal Robotnik is him being childish and constantly losing focus, while the Orbot character represents Eggman's planning. So it's kind of like, as if you see his brain fighting against itself. Like if you do something like that with those characters, that would be great. Like if one that's actually the brilliant planner, who's like legitimately terrifying and super good at planning and actually would have won, but then all those other aspects keep interrupting him. Like with the actual Robotnik, that is his own childishness, is his own downfall. Like you could do something cool with that.
But then I don't think they would have such an iron grip on New Yoka as they did if the other side were constantly arguing with each other. I think it would have worked if you actually split those Eggmans up like they did with the characters into separate worlds.
That would be more interesting. At least then you can see what kind of world each aspect of Eggman would create. Like Eggman's more cold, calculating version could really turn into more like nightmarish world, while his childish version would just turn into like a fun theme park kind of thing or something, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if the season finale is anything to go off of, then they won't be the only antagonistic force anymore to deal with.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, that's right, 9.
Yeah, 9's the end. Yeah, the ending to the more recent episode. We're like, oh, we're slowly putting the prison back together, and 9's like, no, I want to use its power to build my own world. Like, what, 9? Like you're like Tails? Like, no, I'm nothing like Tails. And then he runs off to the void or whatever. So yeah, I guess the
grid.
the grid. So yeah, I guess the next batch of episodes we're gonna be seeing 9 and his attempts of trying to play God.
Speaking of 9, I do have some notes on him. I kind of did this at the last minute, but here we go. I've held off talking about 9 because of what happens at the end, but here are my thoughts. I think the series puts too much focus on him. He's obsessed in building the perfect world, which is a barren artificial world with only him in it. He claims Sonic just assumed he would go along with him, but 9 did the exact same thing with Sonic. So, 9's a hypocrite. I understand him not wanting to disappear if Green Hill is put back together, but he seemed more insulted that Sonic didn't want to help him build a utopia from scratch instead of Sonic being okay with him disappearing. After all, Sonic is under the impression that 9 would still exist after the prism is put back together, and 9 doesn't bother to explain it to him. So Sonic gives 9 a hard time about not trusting people and not having any friends, gaslighter, when the truth is that Shadow's trust is earned while Sonic hands it out like candy, especially to someone who heavily reminds him of Tails, and this proves to backfire on him. However, given how the show is going, I bet the show is going to show how Sonic trusting 9 is going to work out in the end. Gives me Raya and the Last Dragon vibes with a botched message of trust. 9 has proven even back in Season 1 that he's out for himself. He took the prison shard and left Rebel, Nux, and Rusty to die, and was willing to abandon his world just to make his own perfect world. 9 worked with Sonic because Sonic could get the shards and enter the other worlds. While I think there was a desire for friendship there, it's clear that this friendship came with conditions, that Sonic would go along with 9. And when that didn't happen, he betrays him. Something Shadow knew would happen, but Sonic refused to believe him because 9 looks like Tails, which is why I believe Shadow wanted to go after the shards himself. He knew Sonic would get attached to these alternate versions and their alternate versions of their friends, and that would hinder their mission, and he didn't want to risk that. 9 is a complex character, which makes him overshadow the other characters, especially the Chaos Council, who are supposed to be the main villains. 9 is proven to be a better villain. He's got all the qualities of one: self-serving, a gaslighter, disregards everyone who doesn't serve a purpose to him, and is a hypocrite. So that's what I have.
Good point, agreed. And it is one of the shortcomings of the series, because you know where it's going. You know the whole conflict is going to be about, like, all those alternative characters are basically dying in order to create or to restore the old world. You know that's going to be the final conflict. But now, because we're not at the climax yet, they keep dancing around the issue, and that makes Sonic so infuriatingly dumb that he doesn't see where this is going. But then again, it's a kids show, so I assume the kids don't know either.
Yeah, and I think it was in like episode 4, or it was episode 3 and 4, where Dredd told Sonic to go after the shard, and then he convinced his crewmates that Sonic abandoned them. But then he comes straight back with the shard, and then they still turn on him, saying that he abandoned them.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's like,
But he's here.
stop being stupid.
He didn't leave. He's right there.
Everyone in the
curse
show
that
is dumb.
Yeah, curse that Sonic.
Here's how I would have written it: is that if
Everyone
Sonic
is
gets
dumb
it,
except Shadow.
yeah, except Shadow. That's why he's best character.
And that's why
just-
he merely sat on the side. Aligned.
Yeah,
Yes,
they had
we
to
know.
they had to shove him away because he would get it over with in 4 episodes.
It's one of those like, oh, that Sonic, he went and abandoned us. He's standing right there.
Here's how I would have written that: if Sonic basically said, "Look, I need to take this shard because my world is in danger and I need this," and then they turn on him because they think he's stealing their treasure, then it's like I could see that working. But no, it's, oh, Sonic abandoned us. I told him to go after the shard. You abandoned us. And then when Sonic is trying to explain himself, they don't believe Dredd, even though Dredd is already showing he is starting to become a few plums short of a fruit pie.
Very
That's a
frustrating.
expression I haven't heard of.
I do recall one dumb moment. I think it was in the Boss Cage Mage where Sonic had to protect the shard from the Eggman person who's one of the member councils who was attacking. Amy tells him to run, but I think like he goes straight back to help Amy, and the shard immediately gets taken.
Oh,
Yeah.
frustrating.
Yes. I barely remember. Okay, I barely remember that. But here's the thing: so much action happens in these that I only remember bits and pieces. Like, because everything else is just action. And as I said, it becomes like white noise. And so then it's like I would like sit through the season, and then after it's all over, and then I would think about it's like, wait, what just happened? You know, it's like, or what did happen up until this point? I don't remember. You know.
That's why I'm so surprised you all are like watching it in one go. Like I have to watch each episode one a week, otherwise I just go nuts because it's just so much energy constantly.
Yeah,
And
that's
you
what
just
all-
binge it in one. Like man, I'm so sorry for you.
That's all the cool kids are doing, Roger. They're able to binge through it all.
I'm too old.
Yeah.
I mostly wanted
That's right.
to just see Shadow.
Fair enough.
Because I will say, I think this is the best Shadow that we've gotten in a long, long time.
Yep.
It's like, if
he was
Shadow
so
ever comes
sick
back,
of
I want
Sonic's
this
shit.
characterization, or at least I want to build off of this characterization of Shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was absolutely done with like everyone else's shit, just even Sonic's. If the next season does not start off with Shadow beating the absolute living hell out of Sonic for his mistake, oh my god.
I can imagine Shadow in the first episode saying, "I don't want to say I told you so, but I told you so."
I absolutely told you so.
Why do I even bother?
Absolutely.
say
Nice
Buff.
intonation of Shadow there.
Why do I even bother?
There was actually there. No, never mind. I'm like, oh man, there was a really nice moment in one of the episodes, but then I remembered, oh no, that was a fan comic.
Yeah.
Nothing wholesome here.
Yeah.
I do. There is that one scene where they get the shards to the mountain, and then Nine says, "Oh, I need space, to put it all together. I need to be alone." And Shadow is not showing his hand, even though he has seen that Nine is not Tails. Because even when Nine sees Tails, he's like, "This is the guy that Sonic thought was me. We're nothing alike." And then it cuts to Shadow, and he makes a suspicious face. It's like, I think it was in that moment that Shadow knew Nine was up to something.
Yeah.
But he doesn't
Yeah, that
tip
was a
his
good
hand.
moment.
He just goes along with it. But as he and Sonic are talking outside, he asks, "How do you know you can trust him?" And then, of course, Sonic doesn't answer the question. He just says, it's like, "Shadow, you got trust issues. That's why you don't have friends." And then Shadow is just gently trying to tell him, "I don't think Nine wants the same thing that we do." And then Sonic just goes on. It's like, "Are you kidding me?" It's like, Nine's just got this. Once he puts it all back together, then our mission will be complete. I love the look on Shadow's face and that head shake that he does. Where it's like, it's almost as if he is disappointed that Sonic is still not getting it, but he also pities him because he knows Sonic is in for a rude awakening. It's like, oh, you poor naive fool.
It's just Shadow slowly remembering, oh god, he's the main character.
It was like the worst possible moment for everything bad to come down because Sonic, like, hears it from Shadow, the whole series of why he doesn't trust people, and Sonic slowly gets Shadow, like, you know, you need to trust people, and the one time Shadow, like, lets down his guard and leaves the cave, things go bad, and he's, like, reminded, okay, this is why I don't let you guys do this shit.
Yeah.
Although in Shadow's defense, he kind of had pressing matters. So
Oh, yeah, John
I mean, because the Chaos Council was attacking. So in Shadow's defense, I would say he was caught between a rock and a hard place. So it was either stay at the temple and guard it, then that would mean leaving Sonic to fight these guys, and he doesn't trust Sonic. So.
But I don't think he's going to feel any different.
Yeah. But as I said, I am worried that these next few episodes are going to show that, Sonic was actually right to trust 9 because 9 is eventually going to come around. And that, as I said, it gives me Raya and the Last Dragon vibes, where it's like all you got to do is just constantly trust people. It's like, and eventually they will be someone you can trust. When I think that's a really dangerous message.
Yeah. In fact, that was Roger already made a joke about that in Team Sonic Racing in Minutes.
Oh yeah.
We all learned a valuable lesson today. Believe people.
Perfect.
Blindly and questionably believe everything. Yes. It's always...
Yeah, death, murder, death, kill, next race.
Good times.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's what I'm concerned about, and to show like, Shadow was wrong in not trusting 9. It's like, even though Shadow was right.
I doubt they have the balls to make Tails an all-out villain, so they probably will soften it. So yeah. You're probably right in where this is going.
Yeah.
It's like, let's just say I am getting a feeling, and I don't like it.
He'll be defeated by the power of friendship.
Oh, heaven forbid. It's like people give anime crap for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as they fit in more Shadow stuff and Chaos Sonic returns, then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
Doesn't take much to please me.
Clearly,
Yeah,
that's why
I just
you're my friend.
Yeah. I just hope that the next one, like, Shadow is like, he at least calls Sonic out or chews him out, and then yeah, it's like but something tells me these two are gonna get into another fight.
Probably. Yep.
Yeah.
Rightfully so.
With Shadow saying, I'm going after 9, and then Sonic is like, no, you can't do that, I know what you're gonna do, and then Shadow is like, 9 betrayed you, he's proven he can't be trusted. Like, he's proven it at least 3 times, he can't be trusted.
And then sounds like, but he promised to give me a chili dog. Me. Or something.
But also, it's, as I said, it seems more like 9 is just upset and insulted that Sonic doesn't want to build the perfect world with him. It's not so much that he'll disappear if Green Hill will returns. Because he only, like, mentions that once to Sonic, but he seems to be more upset that Sonic doesn't want to go along with his plan of creating a perfect world.
Oh yeah, the whole bit with him disappearing if Green Hill's restored. Yeah, I thought that was kind of what they were going for. But then during that last bit in the episode where 9 is fiddling around with a prison, we see that Sonic's world is like returned to normal before it goes back to the looping ghost zone. So yeah, I guess there probably won't be a whole like, restore the prison, the alternate universes won't disappear or blah blah blah. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like the show just has a bad way of trying to interpret like I think you said before, the whole bad world building and everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And also, it's like, I find it hilarious that Sonic has more faith in someone who looks like Tails but obviously doesn't act like him than he does in Shadow, who is actually someone he knows.
That's very interesting, yeah.
If you thought Amy was blind in Sonic Adventure 2, then you clearly haven't seen Sonic Prime Sonic.
Oh dear.
Mm-hmm.
It would be more
Although
interesting.
I wonder if
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
wonder if we're also going to get a Shadow versus 9.
That'll be very interesting, yeah.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
The edgy characters together.
Yeah, but here's the thing: is that at least Shadow has come to terms with everything.
Shadow's doing it for good, and 9 is selfish.
Yeah, Shadow is trying to save people, whereas 9 is just out for himself. And also, if there's like reality quakes going on and reality itself is starting to crumble and shatter, it's like 9. You do realize that if this continues, you won't even have a world to build your utopia in.
Good point, yeah.
So it's like, as sad as this may sound, the best thing that may be for you and for everybody is if you return to Tails and return everything to the way it was.
Oh, if that turns out to be the case, then
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, it's like 9, as smart as he is, he can't see the long run.
Nope. But then again, there's only one facet of Tails' brilliance, I guess, so he's not the...
Yeah, he is an aspect of Tails. I would say, though, that Sails, for the pirate world, he's more like Tails than 9 is. 9 just has the scientific and technological intellect that Tails has, but 9 has more of the personality.
Well, Jungle Tails is more like Sticks to Badger.
Maybe it's like the Chaos Council, where each version of them is one aspect of the main character.
I guess
Which
that's
would
the
mean-
idea, but it doesn't really work very well.
Yeah, which would mean Mangy is Tails is
I don't know, childlike. No.
They're all self.
Like innocent side.
Maybe.
maybe. Yeah.
I noticed
God, no.
that Rouge's incarnations aren't that different from her. They're pretty
Yeah,
much
they
all the same.
Yeah, they all act the same. There's barely any differences between like Jungle Rouge and Pirate Rouge and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting that, yeah, apart from Rouge, that we've gotten, like, at least one of Sonic's friends from each world that he goes to has a very significant counterpart that has played a role so far. You know, we got, like, a Rusty Rose, and from the jungle we had Fawn Rose, who was very tough and beastly. Then we had 9 and Knuckles the Dread.
It's
Heck,
kind of-
even the, yeah.
It's kind of ironic because I consider Rouge to be one of the more complex characters. So that she, out of all ones, is the most one-dimensional in terms of her split personality is kind of interesting. Because we don't really have a Rouge that represents her selfish side, do we? Where she's the jewel thief, like without
No.
'cause-
Yeah, in fact, all of the alternate versions of Rouge have been rather selfless, honestly.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because that's one of the key points of her real character, that she's technically a thief with a heart of gold. So you think if you're going to split her up, you're going to get a version without the heart of gold, but nope.
Probably why they shoehorned her in as one of Sonic's one of his fifth friend, sort of thing.
Yeah.
She's just part of the group now.
And Big is another story. Like, I would say Big is also the same across all worlds, but it's Big.
What
Yes.
can you
Yeah,
do with
of
him?
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big's only in there just for the memes and nothing else.
Yeah.
Big
Well,
is
he
there.
hasn't had many meme
I'm
moments.
very surprised that Chaotix hasn't turned up.
I mean,
Yeah.
they weren't anywhere near Green Hill when the Shatterverse happened, so...
Yeah, or put in the show entirely.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
'cause in this show, like Sonic's universe is just Green Hill Zone and nothing else.
Wait, so... If the people who show up in the Shatterverse are only the people who were in Green Hill when the Shatter happened, where did all of the citizens of New York come from?
That's a very good question, yeah.
Oh yeah, as well as that pirate rival gang in the pirate universe. Yeah, where did they come from?
with Captain
Oh,
Jack
speaking of the pirate rival, I can't believe we have failed to mention this, but Jacksepticeye voicing one of the characters.
Yeah,
That's
took me by
amazing.
surprise. Yeah, that
I
took me
didn't
by
even know
surprise.
that.
Yeah, he does the second in command where it's, you showed us that you don't care. It's like, you're the captain now, Jack.
He doesn't show up with a top of the morning to your laddies.
No.
No.
Aw.
So, yeah, well, hey, the guy's making progress. First he cameos in Bendy and the Ink Machine, and now this.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that we haven't mentioned Jacksepticeye yet.
Bendy and the
know.
Ink Machine and Poppy's Playtime.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Poppy.
Yeah, he was in Chapter 2. Once again, playing an employee.
Of course.
Every time I hear Jacksepticeye, though, I just think of the playthrough, or the playthrough that he has of, I think it's Party Animal or Animal Party. It's that one where you kind of have these like animal puppets going around doing like various things.
Well, mostly I'm the most like I kind of remember Septiceye for the most is that whole Foxy bit that he did in that what is it like FNAF? Yeah, FNAF 3, but it's not scary or something. And he does that whole bit with Foxy, like, "Oh, my family grew up on a potato farm," or something like that.
How about next season we get Jacksepticeye to voice Chaos Sonic? Make him even more annoying.
Make him sound like a deranged leprechaun.
Actually, if Jacksepticeye voiced Chaos Sonic, I would actually like him a lot more.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh,
Yeah.
dear. Such a wonderful mess that Sonic Prime is.
It'd be great, like, season 3, plot twist, the final villain is Captain Jack.
There we go.
Captain Jack.
He was the real villain all along.
Yeah. No, it's even better. It's like first it's like, oh, it's Captain Jack. It's like, oh, plot twist. He's not the real villain. It's actually Red Pine.
Oh, of course.
Here we go.
Here we go again.
Best Sonic villain ever.
Oh my
Find
gosh.
the ultimate punchline.
Yep.
Well, yeah, Sonic Prime's definitely a show, but yeah, it has its problems. But hey, it's still a hell of a lot better than Sonic Boom. But that's just me saying anything's better than Sonic Boom.
Well,
Look,
it's
except
really
Zoe, she's fine.
Sonic Boom's evil twin. It's the exact opposite. And that's what makes it kind of fascinating. Like I wish Sonic Boom and Sonic Prime were a married couple and got a baby, because that baby would probably be a very good show.
No.
'Cause Sonic Boom is a little too mellow.
wow.
Prime is a little too energetic. Like if you could combine them together, maybe you could have had something.
Yeah, could have had Sonic
I like
meme farts or whatever.
I love your parody, Roger, of actually what happened when the prism shattered. It's that Sonic is just out of it, and in his mind it's Sonic Prime, and then in Eggman's it's Sonic Boom.
Yeah, didn't you give me that idea anyway? I think I got the idea from you.
Oh, really?
I should have credited you. Oh boy.
Yeah, the joke was that the Shatter Crystal was actually crystal meth.
Crystallized LSD. Yeah, I did say that, didn't I?
You should have put Heisenberg in there. Heisenberg and Jesse.
Oh boy, it turns to Breaking Bad. Finally, Don Sonic can get a real payback.
Sonic, yeah, Sonic, we gotta cook.
I am the danger.
Let him cook.
Yeah, I am the one who knocks.
Then we can have Prime Sonic to be blown up by a wheelchair and have half his face blown up.
Hey!
They pressing the bell over and over.
There you go. Perfect.
Yeah, between Sonic Prime and Sonic Boom, each one sort of like one has faults that the other one has strengths, and
Yep,
yeah,
pretty much.
they balance each other out.
And it's again, it's falling off the horse.
One extreme or the other. Yep, always the same.
Yeah.
What a shame. But still, the animation
that's
is
why
great.
we love 'em.
The action scenes in,
Yeah.
in the vacuum are awesome.
I will say I think Boom's greatest strength, and I know Melting Man is probably not going to agree with me, but I think its greatest strength is that it did establish its world, unlike Prime.
At least it gives it more
Even if it
breathing
is
room.
boring as heck, it did at least establish its world so you know what to expect, whereas with Prime, it's built on quicksand, and people coming into it are like, what the heck is this? What the heck is that? What is going on here? Why should I care?
Well, then again, I don't remember much world building in Sonic Boom. Most I remember it's like, oh, memes and more memes and bleh.
Fair enough.
It gave it more breathing room so it could settle a little bit more. Let's just say that Sonic Prime.
Yeah, and it treated...
Sonic Prime never sits still to smell the roses. It always has to run headfirst into the next scene. Oh well. Yeah.
Sonic Prime didn't really have a lot of unique landscapes, even in Green Hill Zone. Like Sonic Boom, you remember Amy's house, you remember Tails' workshop, you remember Met Burger. But Sonic Prime, like there was the cave.
Sonic Prime doesn't really have much of a society. That really bothers me.
It also doesn't seem to be very big
You got
either.
a point. You got a point.
Yeah.
Because Sonic Prime did
yeah,
show
it seems
Tales
actually-
Workshop, and that looked awesome, but we only see it in
Yeah.
one episode.
Yeah, and actually, Prime does feel small, even though it's supposed to be a multiverse story.
Because it's only Green Hill Zone. Even when they refer to the entire dimension, they just refer to it as Green Hill Zone. Like, not even South Island, just purely Green Hill Zone. Like, the rest just doesn't exist.
I
And
still
even when you
find
get
it
to New York
hilarious.
City,
Yeah.
yeah.
I still find it hilarious that Shadow is the one who is more concerned about getting Green Hill back together than Sonic is.
Shadow
Yeah.
cares.
It's like, Shadow, it's your fault. Green Hill keeps coming back. How could you?
Yeah, this is why everyone hates you, Shadow, and not because of the bad writing in the meta era and IDW Sonic. Though to
Poor
be fair, IDW is slowly fixing Shadow. Yeah,
Yeah. You and I have talked about IDW a little bit.
yeah, because we're pretty much the only ones that are still keeping up with the comics.
I'm kind of off and on with them, but yeah.
I don't think I've
I'm,
read the newest issue, but other than that, I've been keeping up.
Ah, all right.
I'm
I
keeping
want
up.
to keep it a surprise till we do it officially for the stream again.
Yeah, well, I know, like
Let's just
right
say this
now.
latest issue had made me very angry, but also very happy.
Yeah,
That's
the
interesting.
issue 64. Yeah, that's been getting a lot of hate with mostly because of how the story is structured and how Lanolin, the sheep character, is written. So yeah, people are very up in arms over that. And
Yeah,
then,
but
of
the
course,
latter
showed you
part
guys,
made me really happy.
Sorry. I showed you guys a picture recently of my latest stash haul from the comic book store. I got a couple of Sonic IDW comics. And latest issue I got was one of the ones with Surge the Tenric in it. So I've actually
Nice.
been keeping up with the series. So I'll chat with you sometime about it. Get your thoughts.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, and then of course the 900th Adventure One-Shot special that came out, which yeah, I've pretty much
yeah.
already talked about it on Twitter, where it's like, it's a standard IDW Sonic Adventure, blah blah blah. The only thing that bothers me is the whole the title of it. Like, in a meta perspective, sure, they're kind of like all the time Sonic has had adventures in like comic books and literature and whatnot, but when they start saying it in universe, it makes absolutely no sense because IDW hasn't had that many adventures in the comics.
You can have adventures off screen, not everything has to be on screen. Like, the world continues besides the pages.
Yeah, but then again, they don't really go prattle on, or at least give examples of any off-screen adventures. But yeah.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping, like, 900 Adventure, they bring in, like, writers, like, mostly a lot of IDW staff, and some Archie Sonic stuff, which is, well, people that work on IDW Sonic. But I was surprised that they got some Fleetway Sonic people in there, like some of the writers and artists there. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And yeah, I was kind of bummed out. It's like, it's just this story and that's it. Like, I was kind of hoping they would have like a section dedicated to like all the past Sonic literature stuff. They just, show off a picture and then a brief description, something nice for the newcomers. But alas, all we get is just this text box like, Sonic has had a lot of adventures in like many media in North America and the United Kingdom. And like, yeah, that's it. That's the best you're going to get for any Archie Sonic and Fleetway Sonic references.
Yeah, but
nowadays.
let's face it, even if they would make a comic, for copyright reasons, they probably couldn't show any characters. So then Sally or Techno and all that, they would have gotten the Eggman Nega treatment, where they only show up as shadows or something, or in silhouette. All hidden in the shadows.
Yes,
I always found that to be weird. Is like, why specifically was Eggman Nega not allowed to show up in the comics?
Yeah, there's not really much of a clear explanation. Like, I mean, I guess there might be some kind of an explanation, like the ending to Sonic Rivals 2 kind of ends with Eggman Nega being stuck under some rubble in that dimension where he tried to summon the Ifrit, and that's it, we don't see him again. It's like, okay, there's, on one hand, okay, sure, he's trapped in a dimension, but on the other hand, the past Sonic games we've had, it clearly shows that he's somehow able to escape from those dimensions, so him being this definitive death just doesn't really, feel justified if he can just easily escape and move on to whatever next scheme he does.
If Eggman escaped from the Sonic Generations dimension, and yeah, why couldn't his Nega version do the same thing?
Yeah, like,
Oh,
I don't know,
yeah.
it's just this weird, stupid thing with Sega. It was like, oh, characters are, like, dead, but, like, you know, when you have, like, Archie Sonic, like, oh, like, Black Doom and the Black Aliens, yeah, it's like, oh, Black Doom's dead, like, what? Well, it hasn't happened in the old timeline yet. Nope, they're dead.
They don't understand alternative timelines, don't they?
Yeah, they really don't understand alternate dimensions and whatnot. Because, because these days they're really blinded over their whole obsession. Like, oh, Game Sonic, IDW Sonic, and Sonic Prime, yeah, they're all canon in the exact same universe, the exact same characters, and which, yeah. Well, that's a rant for another time.
So yeah, at least be happy that Sega isn't helping you out with your fanfic. They would be constantly confusing. But wait a minute, the Sonic Adventure storyline already happened. Yes, but this is a new remake. Yeah, but it already happened. Yeah, but this is a new remake. Yeah, but it already happened. Like,
Well, if I was doing
Well, if I worked for Sega, I'd probably drop dead. Because-
yeah.
I probably would just end up just pissing off Sega with my never-ending pot shots against them, or just throwing in Sally Acorn references out of spite. Just piss them off.
He's just a random civilian in the background with the name Sally. Nothing suspicious about that.
Yeah,
Right?
sneak her into the background. No one will ever know!
But yeah. Oh, something I almost forgot to mention with Shadow and Prime. He actually mentions he's the ultimate life form.
Oh, nice.
But in Prime, it's like, whatever that means. It's like, what does it mean?
It means he has a giant ego, I guess.
But yeah, and of course, I guess since I'm on here, I have to bring up my obligatory silver mention.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. But I'd say I don't think Silver's going to show up in Prime, but if he did, I think it could be explained with all of the reality earthquakes that are going on and the fact that the Chaos Emerald fell into the void. Is that maybe he slipped through one of those? He got the Chaos Emerald and then he gets out, and I could see him being valuable because I could see him being the only one who would be able to carry all the shards at the same time without them being affected.
Would be neat, yeah, but kind of late to introduce him now, so.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But it's like, you know what? They throw in like characters and stuff without. It's like they throw in stuff that without much context. So I'm like, why don't you just throw Silver in there? Just do it. It's like.
I can imagine Silver turning up at the very last minute with a giant clock saying, "It's time to stop! It's time to stop! Where are your parents?"
Yeah.
It's time to stop. It's no use.
Oh no!
No, don't make him say that.
Oh yeah, the whole bit with Silver thrown in late. It's like, yeah, at least like, it might be too late, but on the other hand,
Do it.
Thank you, Melting Man.
I figured we would try and get some love to our poor abandoned soundboard that we've neglected this stream.
That's my favorite.
Oh yeah, in the first stream we did, we just overused it so much. What have I done?
But yeah, we still need the disapproval Elise voice in there. Oh no.
Well, I think you may be able to pick out a soundbite from this stream.
Sure, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
And Addy, if you want to have an audio clip, what is it going to be yours?
I'd need some time to think of one.
Forever immortalized in the soundboard.
It is interesting that the four sounds we have for our server right now, each were uploaded by a different person. So yeah, maybe we do all just get one.
Yeah, it feels like it, because I did the Wii bit, so yeah.
I haven't done anything yet because I'm too stupid to know how to work that thing.
And naturally...
Oh, God.
So yeah, Super Sonic and Super Shadow in the canon in a nutshell.
There you go.
Good Lord.
I don't know if we've even used my sound clip since I added it, but it was
Greetings, friends.
We used it a few times. Like I think Euan's mostly used it whenever you had to duck out from the Fleetway Sonic discussions.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much. He was like, "Oh well, Captain Sala's gone, but Captain Theory, what do you think about Fleetway Sonic?"
Greetings, friends.
Yeah, that's because I was stupid, because I didn't realize you were gone, so I asked your opinion, and then Euan just used that to clip. It's like, hey, Sala, what do you think? And then awkward silence, and then Euan starts spawning that clip to annoy me, I guess.
Oh man, I missed out on some great stuff then. I mean, I guess it wouldn't have happened if I wasn't there, so, or if I was there, so by missing out on it, it came into existence.
There you go.
Yeah, especially in the ending where Euan had to fill in for Luke and you being gone. It's like, oh, and as Luke would say, cheerio, and as as Captain Theory would say, greetings, friends, but the opposite.
Goodbye, enemies.
Exactly, yeah. Sounds like a fun thing to say if you do like an anime attack. Like your ultimate attack to kill everyone. Goodbye, enemies, in a very chipper voice. It's like, yeah, you're all gonna die.
Or maybe they're just like Pokemon. Yeah, Captain Theory, I choose you!
Greetings, friends.
Do it.
Oh my god.
Well, as soon as we start playing with the audio board, usually the stream is about over. Our brains turn to mush.
Yeah.
Luke is pretty quiet, so I think it's a bit.
Yeah, because I'm pretty tired. It's about 10:15 over here.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah, oh Jesus, stream's almost 3 hours long, yeah.
my goodness.
Go to bed.
I know I
Luke,
was
stay
late to the
drunk.
party, but man, this was fun.
Well, that's what happens when we don't have a script or a planning, I guess. We can just screw
Yeah.
Improvise!
Again, this was supposed to be our low energy stream, where we didn't have a lot to talk about.
well, maybe next time we should say our next stream is high energy, and then we just end up getting low.
Well, that's why I drew
We're
us
just
as sleeping cats. You know those beasts. They can suddenly like energize, jump up, and run around like crazy. Yeah,
Join us
so-
on the 30th for our most high energy stream ever. It's like, hey guys, welcome back to Dissected Alive.
And then we need to have like an intro music. It's all heavy metal. Dissected, yeah. And then we start talking, and we all sound like. Oh, you doing?
Maybe it's because you guys had me on this time.
Maybe.
Infectious.
Yeah. You and Elise usually do bring up the energy a bit.
Yeah.
And Aaron brings the intelligence up a little bit. Sadly, she isn't here, so no much intelligence
Yeah.
to be found.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be. Yeah, maybe one of these days we'll try and get her back on the stream.
Yeah, I know she's been really busy lately,
Oh,
but
Has an actual life.
Yeah, it
okay,
happens.
Oh well, we'll get some opportunity again. But yeah, thank you all, guys,
Yeah.
you folks, for joining me.
One last thing, Roger, regarding the IMP animation. I'm very curious if you've designed Beefy Wellington, because I really want to know what he looks like.
Sure, I'll show him. I made him based on Dr. Livington, based on your
A
voice.
Beef Wellington.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, he's the
Wellington.
it's a random
Yeah,
character.
Beefy Wellington. He's the character I voiced in Roger's animation.
Let's see, here he is. Ta-da.
oh man.
I did notice Roger added me into the background.
I saw that. Yeah.
Thanks, you. Can't
Yeah.
thank Euan for
yeah,
that.
it's all that.
Euan drew
That-
a
that was
couple
cool,
background
thank
characters
you.
for me. You were included, so there you go.
Hold on,
Yeah,
is
you
that
can put a whole
Stripes?
bunch of people in.
Is that who?
Hold on, back up.
Huh?
I thought I saw a fan character. Yeah.
Could be. There's a bunch of fan characters showing up. Here's Addy.
It looks like Stripes. If you could back up just a little bit, the frames. I'm sorry.
Keep in mind that the stream we see is a little delayed to real time, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry.
Like, maybe you have the full list of all the drawings Euan made, because Euan made them all, and they're all referenced to something.
Oh, there's Zoe.
Yeah, I see him. I think he needs a big giant moustache, like
right there.
Nigel Thornberry.
Oh,
Oh, hey, there's Addy. Yeah. I'm just noticing it on the video feed. Yeah.
Yeah, that character right there, though. The gray raccoon. Looks like Stripes from a fan comic.
Probably is, yeah. Euan drew a lot of cameos. To get the IMP episode extra attention, maybe. And that's going to be embarrassing because they have no idea what this is. So they're going to be, what is this crap? What I'm doing here? Get me out of here.
Yeah, like Euan draws in like random fan characters making cameos, and of course, if I was helping out, I would just be drawing random obscure characters cameoing.
Of course you would.
Keeping the big city lives on.
There you go.
of course.
Where's
it's always
Red Pine?
in the big city.
Oh, yeah, it's my first
You guys like
episode.
that red pine!
Good point. I should add him somewhere. Fair enough. Good point. But yeah, thanks to Euan for those. He drew this. But yeah, I think the show is a bit late now. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
we should let Luke go for sure.
Poor
Yeah.
Yeah, let Luke get some sleep, and I still gotta recover from all my Gilbert Godfrey bits.
Okay.
Of course.
I laugh so hard my face and sides hurt. No joke.
Maybe if we're gonna do a
that's
Sonic
great.
Prime in minutes, I'm gonna give all of them like a Godfrey Gilbert sidekick parrot. Just constantly yelling at them
boy.
for being stupid. You
Oh
idiot!
boy, I've got my work cut out for me now.
You fool!
You
Oh, you better.
But yeah, see you everyone. Thanks for joining me.
Well,
Yeah,
thanks
thank you
for
for
the
joining
invitation.
us.
Yeah,
Thank you.
goodbye.
Don't worry, I
Cheerio!
also sent you 2 teaser trailers coming up in a couple hours, or in an hour. Oh my god!
Yay.
Oh, then
For those who care.
I'll take a quick second to plug my show. Listen to Addison. If you guys want to hear more of my beautiful voice, then come check out my YouTube channel.
Sure, I'll put
Or
the link
not.
in the message below, which I haven't done in a long time, but I will.
Yeah, and I will. After this is over, I'm going to start streaming more Mortal Kombat 1.
There you go. Well, put a link in the comments if you want, and maybe people will go there.
And
Enjoy
just another
Mortal
quick
Kombat.
plug. Yeah. And just another quick plug. You can check out my fanfiction, Sonic Legacy: Rise of Chaos, at either fanfiction.net, archive of our own, or DeviantArt.
There you go. Go check it out.
Yeah. Thanks again, guys.
No problem.